Karen. What would we do without the Karens?
Mouthpiece included.
TATN, TATN, TATN. Better guard your grill. TATN, TATN, TATN. Mouthpiece included. TATN, TATN, TATN. Better guard your grill. TATN, TATN, TATN.
Mouthpiece included.
TATN, TATN, TATN.
Better guard your grill.
TATN, TATN, TATN.
Mouthpiece
included.
included.
TATN, TATN, TATN. Better guard your grill. TATN, TATN, TATN. Yes, sir, we are black. Welcome to another riveting edition of Mouthpiece Included. This is a pod where we unpack Spolitricks. What's that? That's a fusion. Your spots, your polytricks, and everything in between, a collapsible superposition. And it only collapses upon conscious observation, not just human, conscious observation. Power moves, media narratives, and backdoor strategies. Today's episode dives deep into the shifts. Very deep into the shifts. From shifts in the industry to major plays and spots and entertainment. We analyze how influence is wielded and manipulated. No thing is ever as simple as it seems. Okay. You don't stand for anything, you will fall for everything. And we're here to pull back the layers on what's really happening behind the curtain. Today's conversation moves slightly to the music and culture sphere, where free Larry Hoover, free the old man. Come on, Governor, whatever your name is, Illinois, and NBA Youngboy.Bears' latest developments have sparked conversation. We explore the broader significance of Tramp's latest moves and their impact on shifting the landscape of influence. Whether it's strategic positioning or unexpected turns, the intersections of power and culture always makes for an intriguing discussion. Finally, we'll break down the latest spots headlines, starting with Caleb Williams, addressing the viral reports that have captured attention across the internet and the national news cycle. As the Chicago Bears intensify Camp BJ efforts, we unpack the latest updates and evaluate how the team is shaping up for this upcoming season. From spots to culture to politics, every thread is connected, and we're here today to give you an unfiltered analysis of all of it. So let's get into it. So get ready for an episode packed with insight, debate, and fresh perspectives. It is an open panel out there. We're dissecting all the drama. We're going to weigh out the impact, and we're peeling back the layers of the stinking onions that make your eyes leak on stories that go beyond the box score. The panel is open once again. That link has been pinned into the channel. Click on it, pull up, excrete your excrement. So stand down, stand by, stand back. Or pull up. But if you do pull up, don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. You want to get high? The views expressed in today's pod are those of the host, guests, and not necessarily reflective of TATN, ESPN, or any sponsors or affiliates. So grab your mouthpiece. Let's get started. All right, we're going to get Coach of the Year, slash manager of the year slash perennial father of the year.
Mouthpiece included.
Big H in the
TATN,
building.
TATN,
Better
TATN,
guard your grill.
TATN, TATN, TATN,
Mouthpiece
mouthpiece
included.
included, TATN, TATN, TATN,
Better guard your grill.
TATN, TATN.
All right, Ben down, Shot Town,
What up,
Shot
what's up,
Town.
what's up,
What
what's
down,
going
good brother?
Oh man, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Still looking for spring here in Chi-Town, city of Bend. Yeah, we might get to 70 today, and it's supposed to be warm next week, but everything is well out here in the city of Chi, as they say. Everything's good, man. Finally got through with high school baseball season. Now it's on to summer ball. Let's go have fun again.
Let the kids play. I've been meaning to get you some footage from they got the stadium. They still use it where they filmed the Bad News Bears out there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's gotta be
Yeah. I'll
fun.
be
It's gotta
sliding
be fun.
past. I've been meaning to pull up. You know what I
What?
mean? Man, classic movie. If y'all ain't seen Bad News Bears,
It's great.
most underrated, one of the most underrated
Yeah,
movies.
yeah. You'll see it. Go
Yeah.
see it. Now, what suburb is that of like Cal?
It's near Westwood, bro. It's near Westwood.
Okay,
It's in LA. It's in LA
okay.
proper. It's like right off
Uh,
Sepulveda, bro.
yeah, yeah. I know L.A. County Bail Bonds was sponsoring one of the teams out there.
Yeah, I forgot about
Mhm.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
Man, it's time for a remake. Get you some copper colored out there. Maybe put it
Yeah.
around Jackie Robinson and do it in Chicago. That'd be dope,
Yeah,
bro.
it'd be super dope.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Let's put pen to paper and pitch that and
Make it happen, huh?
make it happen.
All right, bro. So we're gonna jump it off.
Yeah.
President 45.7.
Who was that?
He's been going Donald Trump. He's been going ape poop with his pardoning and his commuting sentences.
Doing his thing.
Yeah, doing his thing. I
For a
think the
price.
floodgates were open when Joe Biden pardoned his son for any future and unknown crimes and any crimes that you know what I mean. And I think they're all working together.
I'm the
But
president.
what's your take, bro, on why this man would free Larry Hoover, NBA young boy, and why let's say, for instance, a person like the great Obama would not even
Hmm.
consider anything like that.
Yeah. He took the bag. I mean, that there had to be some kind of incentive, I don't allegedly, that would make this young man, no, he's not young anymore, this presidential figure for America, uh, uh, pardon this triumvirate of people that they already have convicted of crimes.
Yeah,
And
I was thinking that too, but go ahead with your take. I was thinking that Donald Jr. is probably getting the bag because I'm not. He always pardons people who are holding all that money and he got all
yeah,
that money, and I'm not saying Hoove has access to millions and millions of dollars, but go ahead though with your take.
maybe he does. Maybe he has access to cash or gold or Bitcoin or whatever, that is used to barter with these days. He's been uh, repenting for a number of years in solitary confinement. So, maybe people have put some funds together for him, through group me or not group me,
GoFundMe.
go fund me or go help me or, you know, community funds or canvassing on the 99th and Halsey. Who knows? But,
Well, I somebody asked me like, because he still got 200 years or whatever left in state charges. They were like, "What do you think he's gonna do with him?" I was like, either Stateville or medium security. So they're moving him to a medium security
yeah,
back in Illinois, bro.
yeah.
What does this mean, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, it's a help to him. He'd be able to not be in lockdown all day, and he can talk to his family and
family, yeah.
yeah, whoever's left, and enjoy the rest of whatever he's got left. under these circumstances. So.
Well, the original charges were all loaded and were BS, in my opinion. If anybody does their own research, the city of Chicago is,
Notorious.
yes, for
Mm-hmm.
putting cases on people. And back then, if you review that original case that they gave him 200 years for, I mean, one of my friends, rest his soul, got changed by a GD in high school. And that kid was out. I went away to college, and that kid was back out in the street, like, 3 years
Mm-hmm.
after I went to college.
Wow.
200 years for one alleged Ray Ray shooting an alleged Pookie seemed politically charged. No?
Well, it was probably their inability to put a state RICO charge, criminal organization charge on them. So they decided to convict him on what was a slam dunk, and then kicked it up to the feds, and whoever would have thought he would have got out ever, with the city of Chicago would have put on him, but unfortunately, um, those were the times. I mean, you had cases being put on people. They would give us, of course, the hardest and toughest penalties. And you still seeing brothers get out to this day, not saying, that, he's innocent or, he's innocent until proven guilty. So allegedly he was proved guilty. But yeah, it's tough, especially living in this city to, some people deserve what they've done for what they've done, but some people, like I said, they made charges of. They went into houses and killed the Black Panther Party, and who's brought up on charges on that? I mean,
And there were no
it's
cameras. They could beat the dog crap out of you. They still
yeah,
do it, America.
yeah,
When they get you in there and force these confessions out of people, you know what
yeah.
I mean? And then they come into court with all these snitches and all these
See,
allegations.
he signed right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sergeant Burge picked him up and brought him right in, and we talked to him for a little while. And next thing you know, he signed the confession.
Right. And here's a picture of him going in, and here's a picture of him after when he's signing a confession, and he's got a pumpkin head.
So is this the same Burge that all his cases had to be reviewed because of what he was doing and as a racist and beating up prisoners and money and influence? Oh yeah, but that's old stuff. We're not gonna talk. We're not gonna talk about that no more. We're gonna see if we can make a way for these young men to get out of jail maybe 60 years later.
Yeah, and Pritzker, do the right thing,
Mm.
free that man. I always found it odd that he and Jeff Fort were put in places for the worst of the worst, they're in there with terrorists and all types of stuff, contact with humans. That's for a reason.
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
The influence they had.
And they wanted to separate them from any any contact with society. Now, if you got Larry Hoover on lockdown for 23 hours, one 15-minute call a month, I mean, what? Wow.
Well, there's a big podcaster you might not have heard of, End of Sentence, 1090 Fake. I think it's 1090 Jake. And then
Okay.
he went on 2 days ago pulling newspaper articles, bro, from the 60s talking about Larry Hoover was a snitch. So he was at Parker High School. I don't know what the name of it is now, but
Mm-hmm.
and two cats came in and shot him and one of his homies. And according to the police and the media, Larry Hoover said it was this guy, and they shot me. But the guy who went to jail over it has come out and said multiple times that Larry Hoover didn't snitch on him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
and for somebody to come out there and he's pink, of course.
of
He was a
course.
blood, and you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Yeah.
then he's not
They
a
they
blood
get they
anymore.
gave him the secrets, and then he found out he reformed his life and all this. Yeah, yeah. So
Uh-huh.
keep the
Uh-huh.
story, man. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And when he was probably snitching the whole time.
yeah.
And he doesn't expose any pink snitches. It's always the copper color community, right?
Yeah,
No
Jesus.
paperwork, bro. Just newspaper articles, and we know how racially charged it was/is,
Yeah,
and statements from police. But there's no paperwork where Larry Hoover took the stand. You know, Ace, it's like, man,
yeah,
you imagine you in freaking high school, you get shot. And so what the dude said is that Larry never gave nobody's name. He just told them what happened. You know what I'm saying? Two guys came in here and shot me. Like,
yeah. Let me imagine a police story from the '60s or the '70s, and how valid I would take anything that they wrote down or claimed to have had happened prior to videotaping, or having a lawyer in there with you, or some another voice or something that might be able to help you. What kind of stories they've been coming up with for years. So you know.
we're gonna have to pull the microfiche. He still got microfiche from Champagne Gazette.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
from a case I once caught in the
yeah,
guys. You know what I'm saying? And you
yeah.
remember that article came out? I was like, this is
Yeah.
awesome bullshit.
Yes, it is.
They
Yes,
didn't
it
reach out to nobody listed in there. All they did was talk to the
is.
state and talk to 12. I'm like, this is some bullshit.
It made that shit completely up. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And that was in the 90s, bro. So you can
yeah.
imagine how it was in the
In the
60s.
'60s, yeah, '70s. What do you want us to say?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
FGB and
yeah.
Bear Down, free Larry Hoover, free Jeff Fort, free NBA Youngboy, damn it.
Yeah.
All right.
What about Kales and the Diddler?
Kale's gonna have to write that check. He's got to reach out to Donnie Jr., bro.
He looking for his residuals, man. He might not have the bread.
But I think Kale's had a state charge, so they can't. He
Mm.
he can't free him. He can wield his
Yeah.
influence, but he could tell him, "We're gonna hold back all your state funding, you little bitch, if you don't free R. Kelly." And they be listening to Trump for some reason.
Yeah. Well, they know he can put a order in place, and it'll take like 4 to 6 months to go to court and get
Uh-huh.
it thrown out, and you don't want the pipeline cut off for for that length of time, so you got to acquiesce to whatever crap, and he's negotiating the whole time the crap that he's trying to make you do. So yeah,
Well, big ups to retired Candace Parker. The Sky retired her jersey. All right.
all right,
She only spent 2 seasons with the Sky.
yeah, they won a chip, and she left the next year, I think, and no, I think she played another year. Then she left when the
She grew
contract
up
was
in
up.
Naperville. Where she played for Stevenson?
I don't know. She's
So what's your take on that? You like it? You okay with it?
yeah, I mean, come on, it's this guy. Why not? If they want to retire a jersey, why not? This will be the first one in the history of the damn team. So you got to start somewhere, and you might as well start with somebody that got you a chip. That makes sense, So yeah, why not? And she's a household, or she's a well-known name in women's basketball. So it can't hurt. Retire her jersey. It might get you another free agent in the future, or some goodwill from other players. You never know. It might get your team sold to somebody that wants to run a top flight organization and get your team playing over there in the United States instead of the smaller arena. I guess it doesn't matter now as you're trying to build your clientele. It works there where they're playing, but I got no problems with it. Candace Parker, she's a well-respected player, and you got that player here for a couple of years. She won you a chip, and God bless her and good night.
You guys are desperate. All right, we got Angel Reese. I wasn't there for that, so it probably means more to you, with the chip and all that. But all right, we got Angel Reese right here, y'all.
Well,
Fastest.
another one.
What's that?
It'll be a long time for another one.
Yeah. Fastest player in W history to score 500 points and 500 boards. That's something there. That's something.
Not according to America. she's a scourge of basketball, and she should be out of basketball by the end of this season or next season.
She's just breaking records. Every time I look up, she's broken another record.
I'm just telling you what they're saying about her on the chat boards and the blogs, and you know they
She could she could be the best player in the league if she spent less time on the Mercis and all of the get up and more time. Like, give me about 3 months with her, and I would just change that shot so she can, get that shot up. But that's kind of working for her because all those misses, man, she be on the reef. She figures something out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just throw it at the rim, get the ball, and put it up and get a foul.
Yeah. She's doing enough for her image. The WNBA is playing her. I think she said 75,000 this year, and her rent
Are you
for the year.
serious?
Yeah, and her rent for the year is $77,000. So.
You get 50 hours a week at McDonald's, you're going to be approaching that these days.
Well, apparently, even with the sponsorships, I turned on a channel on one of my channel searching channels, and Fever versus somebody game pulled up, and I saw the sponsorships they got on the jerseys now, and yeah, that's what she's making, 75,000. So she's got to concentrate more on her outside contracts and influences versus, I guess, I guess the money will come in the WNBA one day, but it's not there now.
Well, multiple sources are estimating her net worth at around $2 million.
Yeah, and that's coming from NIL in college and her endorsements and all the deals she got going. But the WNBA is like her taxes for I guess a couple months.
Yeah. All right. We're going to shift to the MNBA. Yeah. We got D Wade, get well. And this is about health, especially for the copper colored men.
Gotta go to the doctor.
Absolutely, bro. Let me see. Where is he? D Wade. All right, here we go. D Wade opens up about kidney cancer diagnosis and urges proactivity with healthcare concerns. Three-time NBA champ D Wade opens up on the Today Show. His journey began a few years ago when his father was diagnosed with prostate cancer. He later learned his grandfather also had prostate cancer. After thinking about the potential genetic link, he decided to ask doctors about symptoms he had been experiencing, including stomach cramps and trouble urinating. Guys, if you're having long-term stomach cramps and trouble urinating, please go see a doctor. Don't wait until your family get diagnosed with terminal illnesses.
Especially if you have trouble urinating, there's a problem.
You got to know there's a problem.
You got to release it.
You know what I mean? And you got that kind of money and the healthcare. The NBA is probably paying his healthcare.
Yeah.
All right. So he went to the doctor. Imaging showed a mass on his kidney. However, they didn't know if it was malignant unless he went for surgery. That's when he had his come to God moment. He said, now I'm scared. That's when I knew it was really serious. You start thinking about everything. You start thinking about not coming out of it. In my family, no one has ever experienced me being weak. I've always been the strong one, the most confident one, the world champion that's lifted trophies over his head. That's the image. But this was a moment where I knew I was going to be uncertain. Age 41, the Hall of Famer got the call no one imagines getting. He had kidney cancer, but luckily for Wade, his proactivity meant it was caught in stage 1, the earliest stage, when the cancer had not spread anywhere else in the body. So he's getting treatment at the Mayo Clinic, which is top of the line. Blood in the urine, which may appear pink, red or cola colored, loss of appetite, pain in the side or back that doesn't go away, tiredness, unexplained weight loss. So those are some signs. Being proactive, going in and not being too afraid to open up and tell the doctors what you're feeling inside. A lot of us men are prideful. A lot of men in my life, a lot of men in the community and in the Black community were so prideful. Going in, being proactive and saying, hey, I want to live a long life. How do I do that? asking all the care questions to your primary care physician and your doctors so you know what's possible. Wade is now cancer-free, and he's appreciating moments in his life all the more. This is from CNN Sports. He says he feels like one of the lucky ones. All right, what's your take on this?
Well, of course, going to the doctor is very important, especially with all of these jabs that are being prescribed for us to take now. I don't know what COVID shot that they're on, 6, 7, 8, 9. Covert, excuse me. But yeah, you need to see your primary doctor. You need to go have a physical every year. If something's wrong, go to the doctor. See the doctor. And speaking of doctors, I want to shout out my doctor, Dr. Utura, has retired. He's been my doctor, I guess, for the last 12 years. And, he sent me to get out every test that, the HMO was paying for. He sent me to get it. He always gave me referrals, whatever I needed. And it's great to have a doctor that you can work with. So find you a doctor that comes to work, for one, and that's willing to make sure he's working to maintain your health. And if you have any problems, go to see a doctor. No matter what kind of doctor is a holistic, medicine doctor, whatever. Go see somebody to try and figure out what's going on with your body. Because when your body starts breaking down, that means there's something wrong, and it's telling you something. So
Yeah, it's like a
to
check
the doctor.
engine light or something coming on. And a lot of times it's just maintenance.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's
Your
what it
body's
is.
saying like, look, buddy, no more of those vegetable oil, those French fries soaked in vegetable oil. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
limited severely. Start using olive oil and other, more
Better.
natural sources. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Pull out the air fryer if you have to, and don't wait until you're 50 years old to do it.
Yeah. They're available.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. As promised here, fella.
Mm-hmm.
And get well, D-Way. Get well. Sweetness, the greatest ever. Rest his soul. This is Bill Belichick talking about sweetness.
This is Walter Payton in the College All-Star game, number 34, and this is a game where all the College All-Stars went and trained for a month to play against the previous year's Super Bowl champion, in this case, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that steel curtain defense.
Coach, so this would be the equivalent of Caleb Williams, who's the Chicago Bears first-round draft pick, playing against the Kansas City Chiefs to start a season off.
That's exactly what it was. Exactly what it was.
No, it
This is an
wasn't.
interesting
The
question.
steel curtain was way better defense than that.
And he's playing with college players.
And thank you. And there was different rules where you can hurt people.
Play right here where Walter Payton takes a little
This against
swing
the
pass.
steel curtain,
and
bro.
who do you think he's matched up against there?
That's got to be somebody with no teeth, Coach.
That would be him. That would be him.
Jack Lambert.
And there's Jack. And Payton kind of makes him look bad. But here it is again. This is Payton against Lambert. And look at that contact balance here. It's easy to see from a few plays like this the type of talent that Walter Payton had and what he became in the National Football League.
Some of these guys going on these shows or reels or coming out talking about they're top 5 running backs and because they have no knowledge of a Walter Payton, he's not in their top 5. I'm cool with Barry, but then a lot of them don't have Emmitt Smith.
I'm cool with Barry, Jim Brown.
Yeah. But any top 5 NFL running backs of all time that doesn't include Walter Payton is basically not a credible list. And
top 5, I'm going to say top 2, top 3.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand that. But you got people that have bias from their particular area, bias from the fact that they never even saw him play, bias because of their age and won't go back and research as far as running backs are concerned, and won't. They won't put them in the top 2. But we know what Walter Payton's sweetness meant to the running back position in the National Football League.
Greatest I've ever seen do it.
Yeah.
And I've talked to non-Bear fans, and they'll say the same thing if they're old enough to have seen him do it.
Yeah.
But I had no idea that he played against the Steel Curtain. I mean, bro, that's like a rookie coming out and playing in 85 against the 85 Bears. You know what I'm saying? The college all-stars playing against the 85 Bears, Buddy Ryan, and that 46 defense, and some kid making Singletary look like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean it was a precursor to how amazing that he became as a pro. But I just don't feel that. Well, I guess they had a Walter Payton Man of the Year award. You get to wear that for the rest of your career. So,
but they should have an award like the best running back of the year should receive the Walter Payton Award, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Merce report. All right, here's Halliburton, bro. See that? And they said he was channeling LeBron. Is that a Merce?
Yeah, that's definitely a Merce. He's got long straps. They carry his other smaller Merce.
That's a Merce. What can he have in there? He's headed to the game. What's in his Merce? They should put him on that show.
Yeah, I don't know, some cologne, maybe a gold chain for after
jock
the game.
Strap, cup.
Yeah, hopefully that's already in his locker, unless he has a special cup. And you know how superstitious players are. He's got a special golden cup that he sanitizes every night before the game and brings to the game room.
Have you ever seen a pink player walking around with Merces? One. Name one pink player, whether Tom Brady or somebody. One.
I can't. No. Even if they wear, even if that is their true to tile, that's what they do. No, I don't think I've seen one that will come out, especially before going to work with the Merce and expect you to take them seriously.
Yeah, I mean, it was Pride Weekend here in West Hollywood. You'd expect to see a lot of Merces there, but I don't even be seeing Merces at Pride, bro. No.
So that's why they, what is the new term? Asexual. It's just a bag that you carry. And it's not, you can't put a type of sexuality on it. Whether it's a Merce or a purse.
So it's a handbag.
A handbag, yeah. Satchel.
I like that. Handbag.
Yeah, handbag, yeah.
I wonder how many kids are watching that, and then they come home and they say, Dad, I found this Merce I like down there on Michigan Avenue on the Gold Coast. You know, it's going to be $1,800. And son, you're going to have to get a job. You're going to pay for that. You know what I mean? And you take them down there and you get them a Merce. And then the younger brother's like, I want a Merce too, Daddy. Like, what do you do in those situations? And then are you going to get your Merce snatched? Now the kid comes home. Yeah, I was on the bus on the way home from school and somebody snatched my Merce. Like, what does that look like?
You got to be rich to be carrying around a Merce, don't you? No?
No. We got Pookies and Ray Rays with all kind of stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm lying. I see it at work also. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to handle or what my solution to that situation would be. Everybody talking about you gotta love your kid, yeah.
It's not that I'm not saying that means if you're homosexual you're wrong or
but I'm not.
Or if you want to Merce, you're homosexual. We're not saying that. We're not saying that at all.
You might be an asexual.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't know. So I'm just not gonna.
My thing would be, son, when you're paying your own bills and you're 18, you can buy your own damn Merce. You bring it to my house, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. Every chance I get. And snatch your Merce and empty it out over the patio. You know what I mean? All your contents.
What if he's got an NIL deal and a sponsorship of the Merce company?
Same thing applies, bro. All money ain't good money, bro. In my opinion, all money ain't good money. You can't take it with you, bro.
You can't take it with you because when they bury you in that box, there's no safety deposit box on the side. Actually, there's nothing because if there's any money in there, it's definitely not going in the ground with you. So yeah.
Yeah, those are that's the Merce report. All right, but here's something we want to cover. It's a tragedy.
They lost that night too.
Yeah, because they showed him coming in. I would have showed that to the team. Like, man, if y'all, man, look at this guy. You know what I'm saying? Drennan Jones, who I played with in high school, he played with me actually because I was a senior. He took hell for, doing his eyeliner, and this is way back in the day, and having us and getting the color context. Bro, you couldn't even get color context without people looking at you with a side eye.
Like, what the Flynn flying Flynn are you trying to portray here? This is a man sport.
Yeah. All right, but this is a tragedy. Here we go.
Control agents have filed charges against a friend of the man who fell over the Clemente Wall at a Pirates game last month.
Son of a...
They say that friend bought his underage friend 2 beers before he fell.
You see how he fell?
More from KDK lead investigator Andy Sheehan.
He was fucked up.
At a Pirates game last month. At a Pirates game last month.
What was he trying to do?
They say that friend bought his underage friend 2 beers before he fell.
Yeah, 2 beers is a
More
lot.
from KDK lead investigator Andy Sheehan, who was first to report on the purchase of.
They pregame before they got there. They was probably lit when they showed up.
You damn right they pregame, but what is he going to admit to?
The alcohol at that game.
The affidavit filed today says Markwood's friend, 21-year-old Ethan Kirkwood, bought the beer, and it charges him criminally with furnishing alcohol to a minor.
And this is a way you can protect the big billionaires in the stadium from that.
From the lawsuit,
Yeah, and because you shouldn't be able to fall over that. In other words, they could put a higher stand and put glass there so you can see through it.
Yeah, most major league parks, especially in those stands and those bleacher areas, will have some kind of protection, either net or glass, to keep the alcoholics and the people that they're feeding beer to for 7.5 innings, 8 innings, however long they're selling that crap and beer and drinks and whatever the hell they want to drink, and pregame out in the parking lot. They got something up there to keep them from falling over the fence.
And you shouldn't be able to fall all the way down there. Like, if you're not going to have protection, the distance should be about 10 feet. You fall right to the next level.
Yeah, well.
According to the affidavit, park video at the start of the game shows Kirkwood purchasing 2 24-ounce cans of Miller Lite at a concession stand and then walking up to Markwood and 2 female companions.
Okay, wait.
Shortly after.
2 24-ounce cans. Each beer is 12 ounces, so that's 4 beers. I don't think 4 beers should make an 18-year-old do that.
You damn skibby it didn't. But, what else is he going to admit to before they go to court?
Shouldn't have admitted to none of that, but they had him on cam.
Afterwards, another camera shows Kirkwood and Markwood both holding beers. Then, about an hour later at 8 p.m., another video shows Kirkwood purchasing 2 more beers and walking back towards the seats. A final video at 8:49 shows Kirkwood walking again to the bar area.
So that's a good point. Even Kirkwood at 21, they served Kirkwood 8 beers in about an hour and a half, bro.
Yeah, they're gonna change the policy.
24-ounce beers.
One person can get a beer at a time or something after this. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah, and you can't be buying beer. I'm getting this for the crew. Yeah, you got to come up there and get your own beer, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be the negotiation when they go into court.
The Kirkwood law.
Yeah.
This is just about the same time that Markwood jumps up from his seat and topples over the rail.
He couldn't even, bro. Damn.
He just fucking jumped as high as he could in his seat. What the fuck, man?
Look, he's coming straight down, and look at the people around him.
The ball wasn't even coming to him. Was he having some kind of personal fantasy at the time to make him jump that high in the air?
Man,
fall over the fence
and jump forward, bro.
Yeah,
damn.
So
rail and onto the
no concept of where you were at.
Field. The affidavit says the two females come running for Kirkwood, who somehow gets on the field to see about his friend.
Come on, man.
Kirkwood made it to the field. Somehow they said he somehow made it to
One
the
of the
field.
females, which the affidavit describes as Mark Wood's girlfriend, told investigators Mark Wood drank just the 2 beers and had not been drinking prior to the game. In a statement,
he wasn't pre-gaming, according to her.
Yeah, he was smoking it before the game.
Yeah. They got those vapes. They don't like the flower.
Yeah.
Who knows who's putting what in those vapes?
Oh, for sure.
The Pirates' Brian Warnacki says the team's concerns are with Mark Wood. Quote, "We feel it's inappropriate to comment on this legal matter. Kevin, his family, and his friends have been through a lot. Our focus remains on supporting Kevin on this road to recovery following this tragic accident."
Now, Kirkwood is being charged by summons, which he will receive in the mail. He will be required to schedule a fingerprinting and appear at his preliminary hearing on June 20th. Reporting at PNC Park, Andy Sheehan, KDKA TV News.
Ah, man, that was crazy, bro.
Crazy work. For sure. Crazy work.
Yeah, man. So Kirkwood, I hope he gets well. He didn't die, bro. Let me see. What's his name? Gavin Kirkland. I don't know. How is fan doing that fell in Pirates Stadium? 18, bro. His whole life ain't gonna be the same.
No, he's 20.
20 years old fan who fell from the bleachers is recovering ahead of schedule. Great. He suffered serious injuries, including a broken neck, clavicle, back, and brain injury. He's been able to take his first steps and is off the breathing machine. He's currently in physical therapy and rehab. Damn. Luckily, he was young, and luckily he was drunk because it made him
probably dead.
Yeah.
I mean, because, well, no, it might have been less injury. I mean, it seems like he jumped over the fence head first and just never turned his body or realized that he was falling to the ground.
Never even tried to grab that pole, bro. He
did anything.
Oh, man, bro. Man.
Like he just went head first into the ground and everything, just compact.
It's almost like a little baby, you know what I mean? Like a kid where you're like, hey, grab a kid, you know what I mean? Even babies get to the edge and be like, they'll wobble, but they be like, shit.
I'm not doing that.
This don't look right.
Not trying to make light of the situation, but yeah, I mean, as a instinct reaction, you're gonna do something to try and break the fall. You're not gonna just, unless you are fucked up, that you're just gonna go over this fence and dive straight into the damn ground.
It wasn't like he was walking down the stairs and stumbled and got pushed and he was so drunk, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just jumped over. Like, what do you do even as for his settlement? Like, bro, you came in there and you jumped over the edge, bro. Like, why should we pay you? You know what I mean? You jumped over.
And you had 2 tall cans of beer.
Yeah, can I go to what you talking about?
Illegal.
Willis Tower and jump off the top and be like, and then my family's like, yeah, we want to sue him because, you know what I mean? He was drunk and jumped off of the top of what you talking about, Willis Tower?
Yeah, he's a drunk minor.
Well, speedy recovery, bro, and prayers up to him and his family.
Hopefully it works out for you.
My goodness. All right. Yeah.
Michael Jordan sitting over here. I walk over here and I say, now, Mike, I said, you know how important screening is to us. And damn it, you haven't set a screen out there yet, and I'm trying to get us in shape to play the second half. And I say, you haven't set a screen yet. Only Jordan could say this. I said, Coach, I read somewhere not long ago where you were talking about me being the quickest player of my size that you've ever been around. I said, what the hell has that got to do with screening, Mike? And he looks up at me and he says, Coach, I think I'm setting them quicker than you can see them out there.
Mike, Mike was treating us, I think after the experiences Mike had in the swimming pools and stuff, I think Mike kept a side eye, bro.
Yeah. I mean, he was aware of what was going on. And,
he was well read. He was
Like everybody talk about who he's hanging with and who he's hanging out with and who mostly he's around, but I think he likes having subservience around him, and he's living his life. So, just because he don't want to hang out with Pookie and Ray Ray, that don't mean that Mike ain't doing his thing. So,
what's going on, D's?
We got Diesel in the building.
What's good?
Hey, we ain't got nothing about Justin Fields in the title, and Diesel has pulled up. You know what I mean?
You mentioned him right there. See, you can't resist.
How everything been, my brother? Free Larry Hoover, huh?
Hey, whoever that man frees that's of our color, it's all a front.
Thank you.
Yeah, for all the ones that shouldn't have been in and went in and never made it out.
It's all a front. Because is he talking about freeing people of our color?
You mean like Mumia and Jeff Fort? You mean political
people? People who like the evidence against them is very questionable.
That was Larry Hoover.
No.
Yes, not the Fed charges, but the original case.
Well,
yes,
maybe
the murder.
Maybe the original case.
Yeah.
But then when you go into that case when he was inside and they tapped him, that's a whole different story. But I'm talking about just legitimate people.
Overall. Yeah.
Right. Who is he? No, it's like he's doing that to try to like set up something for the future to get like
KKK out of jail.
Stuff from our people in terms of just going forward. I don't buy it.
So you got a problem with somebody doing something for our people to earn our vote?
No.
Because if Biden did it, you'd celebrate it. You'd probably be pulling your nipples.
No, I don't care for
Obama
anything he did too. I would go and look at what people that you commute this sentence who were doing that we wanted out, that done stuff, and then their charges and everything was questionable.
I would say this: if he wanted to piss everybody off, he could free Mumia and what's my girl's name? Asada Shakur. He could, yeah. People like that.
Yeah, I just think his motive is totally not what the motive should be, right? You know what I mean? His motives are totally different than what the motives should be for.
He's getting paid, bro. That's why he's releasing.
He's everybody that he's done something for, and I'm not talking about of color.
All of them.
They've already done something for him or plan on doing something for him. It's pay to play, like literally directly.
Yeah, like Chicago, the machine, the city that works.
Pay to play.
The city that works. You know what I'm saying? It's pay to play, bro. You know what I'm saying? It makes America go around.
Business. You ain't too far gone.
You ain't too far. It's a business. Smokey. I mean, whatever.
You ain't too far gone yourself. Told you before, you're not packing them in like you used to.
Man, he used to be talking to Prince like he's a little bitch. He was watching the movie like,
what the F is this? What the fuck is this one song bullshit? He said, hey, man, that's life, man. Life my ass, motherfucker. You ain't too far gone yourself. Told you before, you're not packing them in like you used to.
He was fresh out the rollers, too, man. He just took them out his head. Hey, you don't want Snooki to get on you now.
Yeah, wow, man. Hey, we got Cupcake Durant. He's been on the internet again, you guys. Hopefully I can find it. Draft picks, Halliburton, Dwayne. Here it is. Kevin Durant. He's an interesting study He wants to play. I think he's going to be on the Spurs. I think that'll be good for him. But Shams Charania, I wouldn't trust nobody named Shams. He came out. Durant faced an uncertain future in the weeks leading up. This is Sports Illustrated. Shams said, "I think KD is another guy that the Spurs. There was mutual interest at the deadline. Durant quickly caught wind of Shams' report and responded to it. Well, kind of. To be exact, an NBA fan reposted a tweet on X about the Spurs Durant trade buzz and then gave his take. Would be the 5th franchise that KD trade 5 joins. Can't be a top 15 player all time if you play for 5 franchises. Winners build dynasties. They don't jump ship every time there's a struggle to fan. Here comes Cupcake Durant. Like I always say, make your own rules up and curate this NBA fantasy world the way you want. Enjoy that top 15 list." You guys' take on that?
Yeah, like F you and I make more money than you, and take that list and shove it up your bum because it's not gonna pay me any more money.
At this stage of his career, I mean, players like that at this stage of their career, it's like, hey, it's that win now. So you to be honest, they should be getting like one year deals. So they with an option for the next year. They shouldn't be getting no 5-6 year deal, because then you're paying them all that money and then you're locked into that contract. When in essence, your team, if it don't win now or get close to winning now, you're gonna blow that team up anyway. So, or some of those players gonna become free agents. So yeah, it's kind of like that for a lot of veterans out there, where if they're not winning right now or close to it, you got decisions to make financially because you're paying them so much money. So yeah, if I was a team, I wouldn't be. Now kind of like what we have with Levine. Yeah. He's younger, but you get locked in all of that money.
Yeah, they should never did it. Kevin Durant's current contract with the Suns is 4 years, $194.2 million. He signed with Brooklyn Nets in 2022. The deal runs through the 2025-26 season, pays him an average annual salary of approximately $48.5 million.
No way he's worth that.
In 2024-25, Durant earned a base salary of $49,856 with a cap hit of $51 million. His contract is fully guaranteed. So he's entering in the last year of his current contract. Are you willing to take on a $50 million contract in San Antonio for this
if they're trying to win now? Then if you're trying to win now, yeah. But if you're not trying to win right now, because chances are you're taking that salary on, you're going to dump it after the season is over. So you tend to be a win now. But the Spurs, I mean, old boy got blood clots now. So all of that's
stop it. You're talking about win BP?
Yeah, that's
you guys.
murky.
You go in on Hall of Fame Velus Jones. You go in on Justin Fields. Now you're going in on win BP.
I'm saying, is he going to be?
Yeah, he's fine. They said he's fine. They said he's fine now. They gave him the blood thinners and all that, bro. They said he's good now.
He went to Amsterdam. He worked it out.
Yeah, he's young, bro.
Yeah, he's young, but
I think Durant will be a good fit for them because
they do got what's his name too.
Yeah.
That they traded for.
They need offense. They need offense.
Kings. If they're trying to win now, bring them on.
If we paid your boy Levine, you just mentioned, all that money, why wouldn't we be all in on a Kevin Durant?
We had no interest.
No, we ain't trying to win now. We trying
to win ever.
No, we trying to be mediocre and keep selling out that place.
Mm-hmm.
Give them just a little bit where they think, oh man, there's some hope.
But you could take a selfie in front of the Jordan statue. That's what everybody.
Yeah, there's no hope.
Yeah, that's what I did.
No hope.
But it was the Cat Williams concert. Hey, that's Jordan statue. Let's go and take it.
And I think I might go urinate If there's law enforcement listening, I'm just speaking my mind. I might go piss on the Scottie Pippen statue first chance I get next time I'm in Chicago.
No.
I didn't look for it, so where it's at.
Piss right on it. Yeah. I mean, what about his tweet though? So you good with that, Diesel? Ace seems like he's good with Kevin Durant responding to the
What
fans.
exactly did he say? What was the exact words?
He said, all right, let's go back to it. He said, good luck with that. Your NBA fantasy. Basically, he's saying that okay, let me get to the exact words. But go ahead, y'all, while I'm looking it back up.
Yeah, I think he just, he's saying that he didn't want, at this point in my career, I'm about winning, like Diesel said. So if you think me going to another team to win is a sign of not being a great player or a top 15 player, then that's your opinion, and
No, but you're no, dude. The fan said you're on 5 damn teams, bro. That's what he's saying. All right, here it is. I'm sure.
So
all
how
right,
many
would
teams
be
has
the
LeBron been on?
same thing. It don't make it right because LeBron did it.
Yeah, just what I'm
If
saying.
LeBron jumped in Lake Michigan, you're gonna jump in Lake Michigan. Is that what you're saying?
LeBron is their GOAT right now. So
their GOAT. I'm talking to you guys.
Now, yeah. Well, you can't compare what this idiot is saying to what we would think.
All right, okay. All right, Diesel. Would be the 5th franchise. This is what the fan said. This is just a random fan, bro. Would be the 5th franchise at KD joins. Cannot be a top 15 player all time if you played for 5 franchises. Winners build dynasties. They don't jump ship every time there's a struggle, the fan wrote. And Durant jumped in there and said, like I always say, make your own rules up and curate this NBA fantasy world the way you want. Enjoy that top 15 list. Is Durant even on your top 15 list, you guys? Let's start there.
Yeah, remember, I like to do errors, but if the whole top, no, he wouldn't be.
Right? He's been slipping, man. And he never
maybe in this era, like Diesel says, but
he's definitely top 10. Yeah, he's top 5 in this era. Yeah.
But not this era. If you combining everything, nah, he's not. So the first trade when he was with OKC, I think, and he got traded
after losing in Game 7, and then went to a 70-win team.
So that really damaged him because you could have stayed there.
Look what OKC is doing. Look what OKC
and
is
you
doing.
Could have built off of your legacy would have been a shining star up there.
Prediction: he'll be back at OKC like Durant, like LeBron went back to Cleveland. But go ahead, man.
But then when he left Golden State, that's where his issue comes in because now that's 2 teams, 2 winning teams, two teams that were winning that you could have stayed at either one. And I kind of get why he did leave Golden State, but at the same time, so the next team after that, if you didn't stay there, which I think was in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And that was like
Kyrie.
They were trying to set up a whole cabal, right?
Yeah.
And that didn't work. So man, nah.
And Phoenix didn't work.
Yeah, it's like and then you got injured in Brooklyn. So now
once you blow up that Achilles, you're not worth max money. I'm sorry, any player out there who thinks that's disingenuous, but I'm just telling you, if I'm running an organization, you get that major knee and that Achilles, man, we're looking at you with a side eye, bro.
Man, we've been talking about that. Remember how many times I said, man, why these dudes wear these kind of shoes? Like none of them are legit high tops.
Yeah, low tops, yeah.
80s, 90s.
Man, one of my brothers been talking about that for a long ass time, bro. Yeah.
Like,
they all messed up.
They're all like 3/4 or low cuts.
Bro, they be working out in Crocs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when we wore gym shoes everywhere. They be wearing Crocs. So when they just shooting around and stuff like that, they be in Crocs, bro.
And with access to all of the shoes that they have, millions and 20, they can have a limitless supply of shoes to work out in, change into, play in, and you
outside
of doing
outside of Jordan breaking his foot, like what was that? His rookie year? or the second
Yes,
year?
second.
Second
Rook,
year.
second. Was it second year? Yeah.
Second year.
Second year. And I think he was wearing those Jordans at the time, right? Was he wearing those Jordans, the first ones?
Yeah,
Those
he had
first
to
set
be.
of Jordans? I
I
think he
think it
was.
was the
Yeah.
ones, yeah.
And those were uncomfortable shoes. I mean, they weren't prototypical high
Basketball
tops
I don't know. We could afford it, but my mom wouldn't buy me none because they was shooting people allegedly for him on the south side.
Well,
He wouldn't buy 'em.
he even remember after those first ones, every one he had after that were
Better quality.
Yeah, because I played in some of them. I was like, okay, these are legit basketball shoes.
Yeah.
He went back. Remember at the first retirement, I think when he played, like it was like
against the Knicks.
Yeah, the Knicks, New York. He put
Yeah.
those back on, and his feet were bleeding after the game.
Yeah.
That's how uncomfortable them shoes were. But I say that to say this: like they don't make them shoes like that. And if I'm an NBA player, what's wrong with you just getting some Jordans to play in? I mean, like,
And that doesn't, you know, they got deals and, you know what I mean? They got a
but
brand.
there's people who, well, I mean,
Yeah.
there's guys who are under contract with him through his Jordan brand. But
Yeah.
even if you just with Nike, you could wear Jordans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you got a contract with Nike, you can wear the Jordan brand. They ain't gonna have nothing to say about that.
Oh, no.
You just won't be getting paid for it.
Right.
I mean, Nike's going to get paid and Jordan's going to get paid, but
Yeah.
you just won't be getting paid.
Yeah.
I wonder what the when Kobe tore his Achilles. I mean, I know it was like right.
He's
before
47 years old.
retired,
Rest
right,
his soul.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder if his shoes were
I
all
think
the
they
way
were
up
low
high
tops.
tops. Yeah, they might probably like some 3/4 to low.
I'm glad
cut.
you brought that up, though. That's the difference between guys like Kobe and Jordan, man. When it's over, bro. Kobe could have kept playing. He scored 50 in his last game. He could have kept playing and stealing money and all of that. He didn't want to ruin his legacy.
Yeah. It was over.
Yeah,
And
he
they
was
weren't
old.
going to win.
Yeah, he actually the last couple of years he didn't really. I mean, they paid him that because of what he earned it from what he did in the past.
Legacy money.
He didn't really deserve that much
Right.
at that
Of course
time.
he did.
Right.
Of course he did.
Well, on the one hand, he did. On the one hand, he
Well,
didn't.
I'm saying they paid him that because he earned it from what he did for the franchise.
But
in the
Kobe
past.
did not jump ship and play for the 70-win team, go to a 70-win team at that point in his career. You know, he just walked away from the game, bro.
I mean, that's why Jordan made $35 million his last year with the Bulls. They severely underpaid him for his entire career. So, you know, yeah, he said they felt they were held hostage by a $35 million deal, but they were, you know.
Who was the knucklehead, man? I seen it recently where they were talking about no, somebody said, well, you seen what Jordan got paid his I think they were referring to Scotty's or whatever. I was like, they'll cut stories to edit whatever narrative they're trying to state instead of telling the whole truth. Like, dude, he went like his whole NBA career up until that point, getting 1, 2, 3 million.
2.8 million, right?
Yeah, it's like, what are you talking about?
And truthfully, it was like the WNBA where you got a star all of a sudden, which you didn't have all the television and the media and the social media back then. You got a star like an Angel Reese, and she's coming in making a $75,000, and Jordan was making $1 million, $2 million, and this star or these couple stars are going to take your game global and make more money than you thought the NBA would ever make, you could ever think of. And he gets to an end of the career, and everybody wants to.
Well, it was the Bird clause.
Man,
it was the Larry Bird clause. That's what he got the money on.
Yeah.
That was all set up so Larry Bird can get a big fat check, and so Michael Jordan took advantage of it.
Well, yeah, it should have been.
You never heard him complain about his salary one time. All of them 80s into the early 90s, you never heard him complain.
Well, he said because I signed the contract.
Yes.
And he used to tell Scotty that too, man. If you sign a deal, what are you complaining about?
Yeah,
you sign a deal and you're like, well, he just got paid more money. I don't like my deal no more. You know, that's a definition of. Go ahead.
And he told Scotty not to sign that deal.
He was like, if I
So
were
did
you, I
Reinsdorf.
wouldn't sign it.
Reinsdorf told him that because remember the NBA salary cap was going up. You know what I mean? That's the yeah. Reinsdorf told him not to sign it, but his agent.
He's like, if I were you, I wouldn't do this. He was like, well, I just needed some stability with my family situation.
Blah, blah, blah. Your family was in Dirt Tree, Arkansas. They were straight.
Man, whatever you got, they was going to be straight forever.
Come on, man. All right, hold on. Let's shift gears here. Smug Rogers, y'all. Up to it again. Big ups, air quotes, fair use.
Big ups to air quotes and
Aaron Rodgers ever go to the Bears?
Oh, boy. Security, can we get her out of here? I need some security. Security,
can you take it easy on her on this one?
No, but I believe there's a team that might play in Chicago this year.
Let's go!
What road trip? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Why you ain't in camp?
Listen up,
bitch.
Let's talk about.
All right, go ahead, y'all. So the young lady asked, her dad or somebody's a Packer fan, put her up to it. I'm going to play for the Chicago Bears. And he said no. Okay. What's your take on that take?
No. His career is over.
I wouldn't want him to play here.
Yeah, same. The Bears don't want you, right? Even at your prime.
I don't want you at all. You're the enemy. We got no need for you.
Sworn enemy. And yeah, I mean, come on, man.
Just like him, Brett Favre, any of them dudes, no, don't want you.
Let me pose this question. If you need a quarterback, you're one of these teams that don't have any kind of quarterback that's able to win you any games, and you can bring in Aaron Rodgers or Cam Newton in the camp on a 1 year flyer. Who you pick?
Is it Cam with the crazy wacky hats or Cam without the crazy wacky hats?
Let's say Cam without the crazy wacky hats. That's a condition of the contract.
Yeah, I'd be more. I'd bring in Cam. I believe Cam would be a camp. I believe Cam would be a coach off the field. I believe Cam would be at least trying to play football, kind of like the way the guy is. What's the veteran's name at Baltimore? Not is it Baltimore? Cleveland. They keep Flacco. Used to play Flacco. Yeah, I think Cam would be more all in, and I would prefer to have a guy like Cam who's going to be all in as opposed to a guy that's at some interview talking about it's a team that's going to play there. And then why you ain't in camp, bitch?
Hey, man, the dude is who reminds me of the same way. Well, and I'm kind of shocked that they haven't gone in on him. They try to somewhat. Some people do. I ain't gonna say that. Some people do go in on Rodgers, right? Because it was this prima donna attitude. But the same
it took
way
them a long time. We've been on his ass.
We've
been on his ass longer than that. When he first started missing camp, and they was like, he don't need to be at camp. And blah, blah, blah.
He's a cancer.
Joe Montana was at camp. Tom Brady was at camp.
The same way they used to talk about T.O. being a cancer on good teams. He was a cancer to that team. Aaron Rodgers is the same way. Wherever he goes, he's a cancer to that team. The Jets wanted nothing to do with him when he got out.
But they wanted Justin Fields.
Yeah. I take Fields all day over him. All day. Once you find out what he does to teams in the locker, oh man, you got to go, bro.
And that especially tells you the Steelers don't know what they're doing if they let Justin Fields out of there and they want Aaron Rodgers.
I lost big respect for Tomlin. Big respect.
Well, Tom is my frat brother, so you guys go in on him. I'm not allowed to.
Well, I lost a lot of respect for him because you basically tried to play Fields. You waited.
Playing the fields.
Waited. And then offer him a little low ball thing. And to him, it was insulting. So he's like, no, I'll just wait. I'll just wait, guys. I'll just wait. And now they still ain't got a quarterback signed.
He's got to bet on himself. I mean,
didn't take Shador.
No, that was
didn't take Shador. Like, what do you think? What are you talking about? They're talking about the dude didn't miss a pass or completion in practice.
And did I not tell everyone in this pod that Shador, once he gets to camp, they're going to be raving about him. And now they're talking about, yeah, it's a good chance he's going to be the starter. And 2 weeks ago, he was a bum.
Right. And before the combine, before the draft, he should have been winning in the first round. So which one is it? Come on, man.
Yeah,
but again, even with the Shador thing is why I lost respect for Tomlin. I mean, he's available all the way to then. You need a quarterback, and what the hell is wrong with you, dude?
The fifth round, they traded up in the fifth round to get Shador. I think they were finally done. And you had no influence or pull in that organization to go out and get this quarterback that's just sitting there. And you have no quarterback? Are you kidding me?
Man, and you got Deion Sanders. That man, I would have hired Deion, all that, bro.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? That's what we
work my
expect you to do
DBs.
as a brother, man.
Come
Like,
talk to my damn DBs.
yeah. And Tomlin would have been perfect to handle that, like the media storm and all that. He'd have been perfect, bro.
And it goes back to the thought process. So if your thought process is we don't got no interest in no QB in the draft, then all of your thought process should have been going to Fields at that point.
But I keep telling Ace, as far as the Sanders, that came from above. That was collusion. You even said it, Diesel. That was collusion at the NFL level. We don't know if Tomlin was like, man, get that dude. I want that dude. And there's probably like, that's going to be your ass if we take that dude. You know what I'm saying?
But he could have, by the fifth round, the fourth and fifth round, he could have took him because the damage had been done.
But he's not white.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have made a difference. So Cleveland at that point, they already draft dude in the third round, and they was like
a bum.
Yeah, they like, hey, we got to get him. We can't just let them. No,
like these fools trying to try and let him be undrafted. Are you kidding me? Yeah, we definitely finna get him.
It's really mind-boggling from the sense of where the Steelers are at right now.
And they never had a good rookie quarterback in Tomlin's career, bro. And this fell in his lap. It reminds you of Jalen Carter with you know what I mean, with the Bears not taking Jalen Carter.
Man, they won the damn draft. They got him. They traded back. They got Mason Graham out of Michigan. They got some players out of this damn draft. And I think everybody else was colluding, but Cleveland was like, hey, y'all can play the fool if y'all want to. We finna rebuild our team this year.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Let's shift gears real quick. Zion, bro, and y'all know my take. I've been wanting to buy low on Zion for a long time. He's been high on my list. I know he's got improprieties. He'll grow up. A woman has accused Zion of R&P.
Allegedly.
In addition to sexual, physical, and emotional and financial abuse? Financial abuse? Are you serious? Oh, you asked him for money for a new Merce and he said no?
Yeah, she was in line at Birkin and they were about to give it to her, and Zion gave it the card, but he wouldn't approve it at the last one, so she get the Merce.
Because of something she said, probably. All right. Abuse over the span of a multi-year relationship. All right. This the woman who is identified as Jane Doe. See, I don't like that. Accuses Williamson of a continuing pattern of abusive, controlling, and threatening behavior over the course of a relationship that began his freshman year at Duke. I'd like to know how old this woman is. Started messing around with him when he was a freshman at Duke.
She's a Karen.
No, I think she's a homegirl, bro. The 12-page civil complaint obtained by ESPN. The court filings detailed 2 alleged incidents of R in 2020. The first taking place that September in Beverly Hills. According to the complaint, the woman told Williamson she was tired and wanted to go to sleep. But Williamson told her she could not go to sleep without having sex with him. He then allegedly pinned her down with her hands behind her back and R'd her. The filing added that Williamson threw the woman's phone across the room after and choked her. Second R allegedly occurred. Okay, so this happened. You didn't walk out of his life, right? You didn't go public and say, "Oh man, this dude crazy. I can't be with him no more."
Can't be with him in Beverly Hills no more.
Yeah, nowhere. A second R occurred in October in Beverly Hills. The woman says she was violently R'd after expressing plans to visit another friend in San Diego. In both instances, the woman accused Williamson of taking her phone for a period of time. You know, you can't take nobody's phone these days.
Yes, that's rape.
In addition to the R allegations, the lawsuit details accusations of strangulation with such force that she reasonably feared for her life and eventually lost consciousness multiple times. The woman accuses Williamson of entering her apartment without consent and stealing her belongings. See, that's what you call 12.
Yeah, Keys.
The lawsuit, yeah, he's paying for the rent. The lawsuit accuses Williamson of threatening to kill the woman and her family members multiple times. This big basketball players threatening murder.
Big dark skin.
Rich. The woman is seeking monetary damages, including punitive damages, anywhere from 18 million to 50 million. Zion's team said we take these seriously, blah, blah, blah. The allegations contained in the complaint are categorically false and reckless. This appears to be an attempt to exploit a pro athlete driven by a financial motive rather than any legitimate grievances. All right, so that's it. He's averaging 24. He averaged 24.6 points while playing 30 games last year. He shot 57% from the field. He averaged 7 rebounds, which is low in my mind, and a career best 5 assists. So that being said, what's y'all take on that? And are y'all going out for Zionson and buying low while he's cheap?
I don't want him on my team, but as far as the case is concerned, I don't believe none of that. I don't. That's a cap. If you're dating them for a couple of years, for like 3 years or whatever, I believe she's Caucasian. From what I read and heard, but she was dating them for a few years, and then all of a sudden, a couple of years later, after because I think they broke up in 2023. And now you all of a sudden want to charge them. I just don't buy it. If you say that stuff happened, okay, prove it. Prove it. You know, just prove it. You prove what you're saying happened, because it ain't like you went to the hospital, got a rape kit and all of that stuff, right?
Yes, you can't
prove it. You're going to have to prove it, because if I'm him, I'm like, I'm not giving a dime. I'm not trying to settle for nothing. If you saying this and I was actually dating you, and from what I don't know. We don't know all those details, but
we don't know.
They broke up amicably. It wasn't like So,
yeah, but they're looking at all these other cases and they're like, well, just file and you can.
Now wait a minute.
See what sticks.
Is this the same lawyer that asked for $50 million from everybody?
I don't think it's him. I was looking to see if it was him, but I don't think it's him.
His cousin.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's him, but. I'm not buying none of that. I'm not buying anything she's saying unless she can prove it. If she can prove some of these things she's saying, then I'll.
Well, it's a civil tort. She just it doesn't have to be reasonable doubt. And I want to hear your take, Ace. It just has to be by a preponderance of the evidence. What's your take on this whole thing, Ace?
Preponderance of the evidence. It might have been a night that it felt like R, but hopefully, if you stay with him year after year after year, broke up amicably, I guess it's a case of not being married, and your situation ended, and what are my riches, or what do I get out of this relationship after all these years? And we went from college to you being a pro basketball player. And if there was a point where he could have paid her off and got this over with and not brought it to the light, maybe, but
not for 18 million.
Yeah. But you got to think, somebody's adding 18 to $50 million. They're either trying to embarrass you, ruin your career, or hurt the next check. And they probably got to a point before they got to this 18 million. They was at maybe 10 and said, what are you going to do? Not to besmirch your name going into your contract.
You know what? It's almost like athletes, entertainers, actors, people with money, right? It's almost like, unless you start seeing somebody who's financially or popularity known like yourself, you almost have to have some sort of NDA just to date them
Okay, so whether you're an athlete or not, I've told my friends that got a lot of bag. I told them, yeah, bro, you got to find somebody that has at least what you got, somewhere near what you got.
That's what I'm saying.
It's going to be just as embarrassing for them to be going public with nonsense for a bag. I agree, bro. Man, date a WNBA
to that
player.
point now, man. It's
Get
like,
you a sister.
what the heck is going on?
Get somebody with some media followers, so this, maybe this will hurt their brand by coming out and making up a story that
who's the
5 years ago
athlete. I just seen this story this past week where it's got the baby's mother's been following this person. I don't know if it's an athlete or an entertainer, but they've been following them around. Matter of fact, it is an athlete because they were following them around to team. Oh man, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Belichick.
No. It's a baby mama that they're not with, but they're paying their child support. It's at a limit, but this chick is showing up to the games.
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. That's who it is.
Edwards. Yeah, he paid off a lump sum, so you don't have to deal with her.
But she's been showing up to
courtside,
the hotels and different places where the team is going.
Well, he should call the police. He should file a restraining order.
Well, I don't know if it was a restraining order, but I believe she got in trouble with the judge on the whole case for calling his teammates, trying to talk to his teammate, all kind of weird stuff.
Yeah, she want to find another sucker.
You want to help me? Can you help us get back together? But actually, I kind of liked you when I was with the team too. Yeah.
You just got a new contract. So I'm gonna say this. Ace said something about marriage, and then y'all brought up if she's pink. Two things. Young men out there with those bags, if you're gonna go through all this and you're gonna get sued anyway, go out and find you a copper-colored female, in my opinion.
He's had problems with both, so it ain't.
I know, but still, at least if you got to pay the money, you're making a copper-colored family rich, as opposed to this pink freaking stink who wouldn't be dating you if you didn't have the money in the first place. Wouldn't even look at you. Secondly, or if you weren't a stud in high school, because me and Ace were on that white college, that white campus, they wouldn't even really look at you. It's like you were a ghost. But then the athletes, they'd be all around there. Remember, they used to come over there. Where's Deion Thomas? You know what? You realize you're talking to a ma'am? You want to say hello to me first. You don't come around here knocking on my door talking about where's Deion. Fuck wrong with you. Oh, yeah, you a Simeon guy. Yeah, they used to be coming around looking for the athletes, bro, and won't even talk to us. You know what I mean? Yeah. Secondly, he brought up marriage. The old school guys, see, there's the people who've gone away from marriage, bro, this younger generation. At least have you a main woman. If you're married, bro, it protects you from being in these situations and just messing with all kind of random people, bro, who are gonna take everything from you. You know what I mean? So it's they always say don't get married because you're gonna get divorced and you're gonna lose half. Well, how they're going about it, going to these clubs and going on the internet and doing this and that, they meeting straight. I ain't gonna call them a gold digger, but they ain't messing with no broke ends. Which y'all take?
For sure.
Oh, you gotta think that it's hard to, if you notice, you see a lot of these people, and I'm gonna just use the word industry.
A white woman wouldn't pour that on me for fear of my black wife. But go ahead, bro.
The word industry just covering athletes and people with wealth, right? So you'll see a lot of people in the industry where they may be with a high school or college sweetheart, and pretty much, I guess they're like, hey. The love is sincere because they were with them before they had anything.
But so they knew when it was trending. They knew what was
well, sometimes because
they know
it ain't.
If it's high school, it's different.
Yeah,
but when you in college and you the man, they know, bro. They latch right on.
So definitely know when Zion Williamson hit the college.
It's different now.
That was one and done.
It's different now with college because they get nil money. You see what I'm saying?
They won and done.
They get, they don't have to be though. They can get a lot of nil money and still be there, right? So it's a little different.
And change lives in college.
Yes. So it's a little bit different. I think like Jalen Brunson is with his high school girl from Stevenson. His
dad played in the league, and his dad was married, and so it's a whole
and they weren't living in Inglewood. They
No, he's Stevenson.
Right.
In the birds. But at least he's with high school sweetheart. You tend to not have to worry about those kind of things.
Although again, no, I'm not gonna knock his wife, like, you know what I'm saying, but still, again, if that dude was from Inglewood, to Ace's point, and met her at the mall, and then her family said, well, what does his family do? Well, you know, he works for the CTA, and the dad and the mom, you know, is on welfare or something. They wouldn't be together right now. I'm sorry. I don't care what y'all say.
I mean, we can flip
They knew
it
who
too.
his family was. They knew his family had that bag. They knew his dad was an athlete. You're different from the other blacks. You know, you're not like the rest of them.
What about Jennifer
They used to
Hudson?
tell me that at U of I. You're different from the rest of them. I used to be like, you're different from the rest of them too, you devil. Go ahead.
What about Jennifer Hudson? She was with high school sweetheart, right? When she first got on in Hollywood and everything. And then she
just trying to take her back.
Got rid of him real quick.
Yeah, she had to.
Yeah, big ups to J Hud.
Yeah, big ups.
Now we don't know details for all of these people, but you know, she was with a high school, and then she got with the guy. He was on one of them. The guy she has a baby with. I think she was married to him initially. The David or
the wrestler.
Yeah,
she does have a son with him. But you got to look at even in today's game. You look at the vitriol and the hate that Travis Hunter finally got when he finally got married to this young lady. No matter whatever the hell you people say or think or feel about him or her, and whatever they do, he's married now.
He made her an honest woman. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And that's his wife. And whatever they trials and tribulations they face
is between them.
And between them to the point that they ain't married or the point that they death do their part. So,
but he ain't got to be running to the club chasing it. He could be focusing on his sports and everything like that.
I was watching a show long before the masses were getting hip to their relationship. They had their little podcast and doing these different albums. I was like, man, they seem like they genuine.
Yeah.
From what I would watch and see them doing. I was like,
and he pursued her. You know what I mean?
They was in college. In college, you're gonna go through some.
And before they were like super serious, they kind of dated, kicked it.
Yeah.
And then they, went through the thing like, well, wait, let's
she didn't want him. Her brother was, her brother was like, you know what that is? And she, you know what I mean? Right. But
and
that, it's kind of like Kobe and his wife, it's kind of like that.
They just wanted to be a pure blind virgin.
Hey, I'd say this, that she loved him, Kobe's wife. Because stuff she went through with him, she was still there.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Still there.
He's a professional athlete. He just caught a case.
Yeah, by another and then she had 15 other guys. She probably looked at the data and said, wait a minute, this whore had 15 guys sperm in her, you know what I mean? And she single out Kobe, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying is important to have like a wife, a strong woman in your life, because they can see through all of that.
Yeah,
all right, but
he was
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Kobe. That wasn't all he was messing with. He was messing around, and she was still there through the whole time.
It's Kobe Bryant, and you don't know what their arrangement was from the jump. R.I.P. Kobe. Here we go though. We've been in between. We'll show clips of the goats.
Up. Let's talk about arguably the greatest running back to ever play the game. It all started in Columbia, Mississippi, when Walter didn't start playing football till his junior year in high school. After an outstanding college career at Jackson State University, the Chicago Bears drafted Peyton number 4 overall in the 1975 NFL Draft. He was every teammate's dream. As a university, the Chicago Bears drafted Peyton number 4 overall in the 1975 NFL Draft. He was every teammate's dream. After an outstanding college career at Jackson State University, the Chicago Bears drafted Peyton number 4 overall in the 1975 NFL Draft. He was every teammate's dream, as opposed to everyone else's nightmare.
Hey, this dude knew about the stiff arm. Watch how this dude's chasing him. And that's how Peyton was about to punch him in his
everyone else's nightmare. He could do it all. His nightmare. He was every teammate's dream, as opposed to everyone else's nightmare. He could do it all. Run, catch, throw. Yes, I said throw. He still holds the record for 8 passing touchdowns by a running back. Peyton retired as a 9-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl 20 champion, NFL MVP, Hall of Famer. The list goes on and on. I mean, goodness. There's just so many records and accomplishments he achieved. So where is sweetness on your running back list? The GOAT? Top 3? Top 5? Drop a comment and let us know.
What was that, Ace?
I said he bounced off you, dropped the helmet down in the middle of your chest, and then trucked your ass for a few more yards, man. Man, Peyton.
Yeah.
I hate that AI voice, man.
I know. I hate that too.
I was watching a clip like that, and they had whoever set it up.
Yeah.
They had the AI voice cursing like that motherfucker put a stiff arm on it. I was like,
but that's sweetness, y'all. We just play those to remind people what everybody here already knows. So Zion was accused of the R&P. All right, NBA conference finals wrapped up. So it's going to be the Pacers versus OKC. I picked OKC to win it all. I mean, you can't win damn near 70 games and flop unless you're playing against Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? You just can't. Okay. But what's y'all take on the NBA finals? Does anyone care? Are y'all watching all 7 games, however it takes?
Well, you know, both of my teams are out, so I'm going with the OKC team. I like their camaraderie, how well they play. They got the league MVP on their team, and even in the middle of the season, once you see them on television, they win a game or have a tough game or whatever happened that particular game, and they will come out as a team and celebrate. They come out as a team and talk to the media, and then they will go back to the locker room as a team. So I love team chemistry as a coach, and I think they've got the chemistry to take them to the championship.
Oh, they're gonna win. I wanted them to play Cleveland because it's a better matchup. Indiana can just score, but they can't defend. So OKC can score and defend.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Indiana might get 1, maybe 2, probably 1, maybe 2. But OKC, because they can do both. Cleveland was the only team in the East that I thought could do both. Boston could a little bit, but
I had Boston against OKC in the finals, bro. I never believed Cleveland. Ace was crowning Cleveland.
No, I didn't.
Well, Cleveland
jumped on that little bandwagon.
Cleveland is similar.
The Bulls couldn't beat them.
Cleveland's similar to OKC because they can defend, but something about their offensive chemistry that just didn't go right in the playoffs. And then Boston, once Tatum got hurt, they was a wrap. You know, even if they would have beat the Knicks in that series, they would have got outscored by Indiana because Indiana can score. They got the
pace. They want to run them out of the gym.
You got to be able to score and defend them when you need to. So, I see OKC
in 5 games.
5, like I say, Indiana could get 2. Might. That's a might, but.
I got OKC in 5.
Yeah.
How many games, Ace, for you?
I would say OKC in 5. I think Cleveland was a regular season team where they can play you close for the first 3 quarters, and then they unleash Donovan Mitchell on you and they rebounded. And they weren't built for the playoffs, as we saw. And
well, the one guy was hurt, like. In the playoffs, the what's the other guard?
I don't know.
Remember, he was benched. He was benched. He was sitting in civilian clothes when they were playing the Knicks.
Did he have a MERS?
I don't know. He was sitting down when I seen him.
Was it on the
Garland? I think it's Garland. Was Garland?
Garland. Yeah, he was a baller though.
Yeah, but he didn't play a couple of them games. He was out hurt.
Business decision.
Yeah.
So
what's up with your boy Tibbs, man? Is he ever gonna learn? He's doing the same shit he did in Chicago. He only wants to play 7 players, bro. He don't change nothing up in the playoffs. Like, what's wrong with him?
He's a warlord. I told you. That dude's a warlord.
I don't know why we have all idiot coaches in Chicago.
Yeah.
What did Kenny Smith say? He wouldn't play 9 players on a baseball game.
Bro, it makes no sense, bro. Everybody knows, man. You got to play these players, man.
You got
And
a
look,
rotation.
when he got forced to play the other 2 guys, Shamden and I forget the other guy.
Let me guess. They balled out.
They was balling.
Yeah,
And so he's seeing that in practice. Bro, we had Jimmy Butler on the bench and we were playing Lou Alding 48 minutes a game and then he was balling, but he'd be hurt, and Butler wouldn't play.
Every year in the playoffs, he couldn't play because he was hurt from playing the whole damn season.
And then Butler would ball. That's the thing. If you got bums, Tibbs, if you got all bums, that's where you shorten your rotation. But you can't convince me that every year you're coaching, you can't find 8, 9 players to compete in an NBA game.
Here was the adjustment that he could. So Brunson is getting hounded by this guy up the court for I think like every game except game 1 maybe. And to me, Brunson, if you look at his style of play, is very reminiscent to me of the Isaiah Thomas that was at Boston. When he had a couple of good years and then he got hurt or something and then his NBA career went to shit. But Brunson is kind of ball dominant, slow kind of paced, right? He's ball dominant like that. But those other 2 guys that they were bringing off the bench, both of them could bring the ball up and fast. And I would have been like, hey, you going in with him, you bring the ball up. Jay, you can play off the ball. It opens up so much more stuff when you give him the ball after half court. Instead of him getting hounded coming up the court. The dudes was playing like Pippen did Magic when we was playing in the final. They was hounding him.
This is their guy.
So I'm like, you got to adjust that. I'm like, look, you ain't bringing it up for most of the game. One of these 2 gonna bring it up. You get it after half court. And that eliminates that factor right there because Knicks just kept turning the ball over, man. Like, but Tibbs is a warlord, man. He gonna play you till the wheels fall off, literally. Literally.
He's just lucked up to have great players and players that may buy into his style, but you got to have a superior one team, and you got to have some dogs on your bench to come and rest your starters, and then you rotate your starters back in. But if your starters playing the whole damn game all year, all season, all playoffs, it's never gonna work.
I mean, he ran Derrick Rose into the damn ground. Derrick Rose should not have been on the court in that game against Philly. We were up 14. I went to sleep on my couch. It was less than 4 minutes. It was like 3 minutes, 20-something seconds left in the game. I'm like, we got this. And my last thought was, Tibbs, take Derrick Rose out of the damn game.
And you wake up and his whole career's over.
Yeah.
Warlord. Like I said, warlord. And Kreider is kept. Tibbs been known as a defensive coach.
Yes, he's a Eberflus.
They were no defense this year. They had Olay defense. I'm watching them. I'm like, what is that?
They were tired. They were tired, bro.
Tired, and certain personnel that you got are Olay defenders for the most part.
Yeah, but they're playing. He's playing them all game.
Like, you got Bridges who can really play D, Anunoby who can really play D. And what's his name? Who's hurt half of the time, but he was getting rebounds like a mug. The center,
Anderson.
The center. What was the center name?
Otis Anderson.
No, the center with the headband. Mitchell Robinson. Them 3 top-notch defense.
I don't watch that.
What's his name? Karl Anthony Towns, who remind me of shooting threes like Brad Sellers.
A little zesty.
You bring him out on defense to the line, he can't guard you.
If he played in my system, he'd be a Dennis Rodman type. You don't shoot, cat.
And Jalen Brunson, he's not a good defender. No, he's not. So
he's tired.
He's
tired out there.
Hey, like I said, he's a warlord. He's not. His starters are his starters. They're like his front line special forces that he sent in before anybody else go in. And until they all gone, that's who he's riding with.
That's what
he had Josh Hart, man. Josh Hart, who's a soldier. Josh Hart looked so tired. I was like, this dude just don't learn, man.
We saw he can't learn. Like Ace has been
He's
saying, he's an idiot. Yeah,
And
man.
in game one, you let your damn you got a 14-point lead with 2 minutes left, and your players out there damn tired because you're not rotating anybody when you got a big ass lead, and you get to the end of the game and they can't defend the guy just standing out there shooting 3-pointers, and you lose in overtime at home.
Yeah, that was the series too.
That might it could cost him his job. It could. Because you got to the conference finals, but you should have been at a game 7 at the minimum. But your coaching cost them game 1.
You lost home court. Game 1 and 2.
Hands down. Game 1, at the minimum, you do not lose a double-digit lead within 2 minutes in a playoff game.
And the Madison Square Garden.
Yes, that's on him. Totally on him.
Yeah. I'd fire him. Fire Poles and fire Tom Thibodeau.
You gonna fire him both?
He's got them turned around to where they've been winning. So now if you can find a better head coach to get them over the hump.
Yeah, we had Derrick Rose and Noah and Butler and all those players here, and they were turned around till they were winning and getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they could never get us there because by the time they could get there, all the players were hurt and tired.
The only person he would play sometimes was Ben Gordon. That was it. He wouldn't play hard than nobody else.
And he's a defensive coach, and he know Ben Gordon plays no defense. But he come out there and shoot it up for you. He get you, run you a 30 or 50-point game.
Man, that's like having Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant on the same team. What he does, he'll have Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant on the same damn team. And Michael Jordan will play all these minutes, never come out, and then Mike gets hurt and Kobe comes in there and averages 30 points a game. And if the GM don't go in there and fire him, like, you got to be seeing this in practice, bro. I balled, bro. You know what's going on in practice. Man. Come on, try this out.
I got to get this guy some minutes. He's got to we got to figure some shit out. And I'm sure his coaches are telling him that if they're not, they're all idiots too. But you got to rest these guys, especially going into the playoffs and into you got to rotate your players.
Yeah, he's a moron. I think we all agree. All right, Stephon Diggs got caught with the pink Coke. I think it's pink Coke. It's very popular these days, y'all.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, because it could be anything, but it kind of looked like edibles, but I'm not sure. But let's see.
Okay, so the video shows Diggs. He's on a yacht, and in the clip, it looks like he's handing something, a pink substance in a small baggie.
Okay.
Now, the crucial thing here, and this is important, is that the full context is just not clear from the clip alone.
Right, context is missing.
Yeah, it looks like gummies,
that specific image, the baggie.
Exactly. That detail immediately got people talking, raising questions about, potential off-field stuff.
And then there's the timing with practice. This video pops up, and then Diggs isn't at a recent OTA session, one the media could attend.
Correct. Now, okay, OTAs are voluntary. We should stress that.
Sure, technically voluntary.
But his absence coming...
He'll be in the news with a R charge soon.
Right on the heels of this video surfacing, it naturally raised some eyebrows. Got the speculation machine going.
Has the team said anything, Coach Vrabel?
Yeah, head coach Mike Vrabel was asked about it. He did confirm the team is aware of the video circulating.
Aware, okay.
And he mentioned he'd spoken with Diggs.
Oh, blue, yellow, pink! He said he's going to handle it in the house, which I love. You know what I mean? But what's y'all take on that? I mean, he's on a boat, he's on his own time, and he's got a bag with a pink substance that just looks like marijuana gummies.
I've got something like that in my seasoning cabinet. It's called pink Himalayan salt. So maybe he was just trying to offer them some for the rim of their glass before they drank some tequila or something like that. Yeah.
And it's a crop video. You don't know if they handed him that bag. They're making an assumption that he's giving these girls drugs. They could have brought the drugs with him, and he could have been looking at it like, what y'all there, and then gave it back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't know what was in those young ladies' hearts. And immediately they started talking about his 3-year, $69 million contract, how he might have ruined it, and blah blah. And shout out to Mike Vrabel.
I'm watching dudes
gonna handle this in-house.
talking about cut him now. I believe I was watching Doug Gottlieb, who I think was a basketball guy. And I'm like, and he's like, cut him right. I believe it was him. Don't quote me. But he's like, cut him right now. There wouldn't be no ifs, no ands, no buts. I'd cut him right now immediately.
Don't know anything in him.
But that same son of a bitch wouldn't have cut Lawrence Taylor.
Not if he lives in New York. Absolutely not.
I mean, jumping to conclusions it's you just don't assume. You know. And you got to trust that Mike Vrabel, if it's something that's an issue, he'll address it, right?
Yeah.
But if he's off on his own time or whatever, you don't know what that is. You don't know what he's giving them. You don't know what they're doing.
Why are you holding drugs when you could clearly see, allegedly drugs, and you can clearly see somebody filming you? Why are these people allowed to be on your yacht with their phones and posting on IG? This is a bigger thing.
Well, you know he's dating Cardi B, man. Right?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Right, but that ain't, I've seen some stuff, But I'm saying, right. But why?
But he's a single man. He's dating whoever he's dating.
Yeah,
it's a day of the week.
I got no problem, but I got a problem with filming. Her, you're gonna get people following more so than they would be following him, right? So
oh, absolutely. They're looking for
young men. When they show up, take their phones. You know, you can't have a private moment with people filming shit and then posting it, bro. This would be a violation.
Especially on the boat. You can film, you can film people out there on the water, looking at the water, but why the hell are you filming our private, our conversation on the boat, whatever we're about to get into?
He should have taken that phone and thrown it right into the ocean.
Absolutely.
That's what they would have seen me doing. They'd be like, oh, yeah, he snatched the phone. And, it would have been a whole different issue. But, Vrabel said we're handling it in-house. We talked to him, and we're going to go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Poles would have cut him.
We've heard what's going on, and the NFL investigated, and we just decided to get ahead of this, and we cut him, and it's going to cost us about $40 million against
he's like you with Justin. I mentioned Ryan Poles, boy. He goes
he's got it in for Poles.
Yeah, he got it in.
You know Poles is an idiot. Everybody in the NFL knows he's an idiot, but he's just learning how to be a general manager, and I don't think he's done a good job to this point.
Why are we always hiring people who don't know how to do what you're hiring them to do? I don't understand.
Hiring them on the discount.
All right, we got one more.
Have y'all covered anything about y'all might have did it last week where you covered the backlash for Angel Reese and all of that stuff?
Oh, the racial comments in the court in Indiana?
Well, and after I did my homework, man, Angel Reese didn't say anything. It was other people who were saying that she didn't say a word.
All she did was report that that when I travel, people are shouting racial epithets at me.
Yeah.
That's all she did.
But she didn't say, she wasn't the one who reported that or during that game that people were calling her stuff. It was other people that reported that. She didn't do it. And then they were like attacking, you hearing all of this stuff. There's people making podcasts where, and trust me, they sound like hillbillies straight from the South. Talking about she didn't score this. She only had this many rebounds. Like any part of her game, they're doing podcasts on.
I'd be treating their ass in the comments.
I'm like, what is this all about? Why are you?
We were talking about this a little bit earlier in the show.
And when they asked her after that game, did she have any comment about the issue or whatever happened? She was like, I got no comment. She didn't say anything.
Right.
She didn't say anything.
Look at her. She got 0 points and 15 rebounds and only 2 steals and 4 turnovers.
And they don't even like basketball. You know what I'm saying? I don't be chiming in on hockey, what's going on there. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've never heard me call a hockey player a bum. You know what I mean?
And then look, so all of their energy is because of Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And they wanted to throw her under the bus when she came out and said,
it's wrong.
That the black folks or the black players or whatever getting mistreated and everything.
Caitlin said it's wrong. Right.
They had a problem with that. I'm
Right.
like, well, there you
Right.
have it. That just
Right.
tells you the whole story right there.
Well, you don't know what's in those rednecks.
And the young lady said it at the ESPN Awards. I don't know if she was the NBA player of the year, the college player of the year. But she came out and was like, yeah, you know, I'm receiving this award as a white woman, but you know, shout out to all the black players that came before me, the black women that came before me, and endured all of this stuff to even have this league or have women's basketball at this point. And you know, it got a little bit of coverage, but you know,
they don't cover it that much. They rather cover something like Angel Reese, getting into it with some fans or something.
Right.
They rather cover that type of stuff.
Right. Hold on.
Have a different aura when he walks on the court, and he was in your ear. So I have to ask.
Okay.
First game, and I guess throughout your career playing against Jordan, does he just have a different aura when he walks on the court?
Brandon.
And what was that like?
We played them at the Richfield Coliseum in Cleveland, and it's only 3 times I've ever sat there and not be able to warm up because I was anticipating playing against somebody and couldn't wait till they walked in. Larry Bird, Irvin Magic Johnson, and Michael Jordan. Remember, they had that maroon, that dark Chicago Bull maroon with the bull on the back.
Yeah.
And so remember, they on the road. But this is when, you know,
Stones
people
on the
have,
east side love that
cameras
Bulls
on
gear.
phones. We had actually cameras. So you see the snaps like this, you know what I'm saying? And they ran out. And Jordan didn't run out. So you can see our crowd was going, ah. I'm like, wow, our own crowd is disappointed that Michael Jordan didn't come out. And then he waited like about 2 or 3 minutes and he came running out by himself. And our crowd went crazy.
He probably was getting extra
I'm
treatment.
like sitting there like, he got the bald head now,
Yeah,
with the goatee, and he locked in and gave us the easiest 45 you can ever find anywhere. And I sat there after the game and my dad called me. He said, "What you think?" I said, "Dad, it's only 2 players I've ever seen they shoes by my eyes. Dominique Wilkins and Michael Jordan." I saw his Jordans go, he was like this in the air. And his Jordan was like literally by my eyes. That's how high he could jump.
Oh my God.
His basketball IQ was spectacular. And to play in the All-Star game with him twice, I saw something that was totally different.
I think he had there for himself.
Michael Jeffrey Judd. All right. You know, and we just want to make that known. Michael Jeffrey Judd. Ray Jackson, Pookie Jackson, Lamar Jackson, donates $20 million to homeless charities, bro. What y'all got to say about that? He should get the Walter Payton Award.
You're damn right. He
for the NFL, if you're talking the NFL, because I know Mike's been putting in work on the silent tip. He been opening up clinics and medical clinics, and they're free for people. And he been doing a lot of them.
Yeah, but we're talking about the off my line Lamar Jackson.
Oh no, I said you speaking of the NFL.
Pookie Jackson got a big bag, and he's donating it. I mean, and most of that money goes to taxes anyway. So if you can offset that and help people, come on, man. But you know that's
he gets it as a write-off. They all do, but
that's just been Lamar. Forget the tax part of it. That's just been Lamar, I think, since he's coming to the league, and the fact that this isn't a story like all the other stories that you try and come up with is something to be said.
Yeah, man. Big ups to him and his team, man, dropping that $20 million, because $20 million is a lot of freaking money.
That's big. I mean, it's not to be underestimated. That's big. Yeah, I got no problem with him. Last year, that was not his fault that they didn't beat Buffalo. I got, the year before that when they lost in the playoffs to Kansas City, that was
he
more
probably
so
could have played better.
Yeah. But that game that they lost in Buffalo,
He got the ball to dude, and he coughed it
I
up
don't blame
inside the
him.
5.
Yeah.
He coughed it up, bro. Dude coughed it up.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
got no problem
that's on the dude who
with how he
fumbled.
played.
And that dude who fumbled should be out there taking the smoke for that. You know what I'm saying? Don't blame my quarterback. He got me the ball. You know, that's on me, and I'm going to come back. But these modern day players don't tend to do that much because they are a brand. They are a business. You know?
Yeah.
Your boy, Diesel, I'm glad you're here because you like to coddle Caleb Williams. All right. You like to coddle Caleb. He's doing better without
yeah, he's had some training.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He's doing better, but he still got that.
Well, we all know his mind is off kilter.
Let's look at his fingernails. I think they've had a come to Jesus meeting with him.
Oh, yeah, Diesel, did you know he was an autosexual? We want to hear your take on Caleb Williams coming out of the closet and saying he's an autosexual. We fact-checked it. He did, in fact, say it.
I don't know what that means.
I didn't either. We had to look it up.
That means you carry a merce with no problem.
So what autosexual is, they love them. It's self.
He doesn't like men, right? As far as sexually, he's not attracted to men. He's attracted to women, right?
He's sexually attracted to himself.
Yourself, yeah.
Yes, that's what he's saying. That's what autosexual is, bro.
I don't know. That's some weirdo stuff to me. So
All right, but let's get him on here though. Big ups to Caleb. Y'all don't think I like this guy. I like this.
And you want to keep saying he's from the West Coast, but he's from
BMO.
Yeah.
We know he's from over there. But remember,
DC. Yeah.
I always said his mind is a little weird.
Right.
They call him a creative autosexual.
Well, one thing they finally are saying things like the work he's putting in. I'm starting to hear that. Big ups to Coach BJ for defending their quarterback and not letting him just take the firestorm all
out
by
there
himself.
In the wind, hopefully he figures it out by the time we get out of training camp or
all that stuff about they wasn't trying to help him. Didn't want to go over plays and watch film with him and all that crap.
Well, that's what he's talking about. Yeah, he came out and said I had to watch film by myself. Well, the only thing I don't like Diesel is he don't give these takes to the local media. You know what I'm saying? The local media be asking him these same questions and he'll say something totally opposite. And then you'll hear something, he'll go on Leslie Visler show or somebody's writing a book and then he started coming out, I never wanted to be a Bear and stuff like that, bro.
Yeah, that was, I think,
this is a long time ago.
Just like any other young player, when you coming out, you probably got your places that you rather go to. And then when you got his dad in his ear, you don't want to go there. That's where quarterbacks go to die. You don't want to go there. So and honestly,
so when he sat down with who was the offense coordinator, Ace? The garbage man.
Waldron.
So when he sat down with Waldron and Flus and him and his dad sat down, they were like, "Oh, okay, this is the place for us." Is that what you're
saying? That ain't who got him to come there. It was Poles took him around and showed him around and
facilities.
And that changed his whole mindset.
The facility.
Waldron wasn't even there yet. I don't believe.
He wasn't there yet.
But they have all players. They got places they want to go to. Don't want to. He just foolish enough to go out there and talk about it. Like, why would you be wanting to talk about that?
Good to see everybody.
Let's see what the young man said. We're not going to play the whole thing. Fair use.
Yeah.
He started out with a
Good to see everybody. Back. So let's get this started. First, let's start off with what everybody would love to ask about.
He's quirky.
His hands are clean. He doesn't catch a cold. All that
storm that
on
happened.
His right in his eyes.
He's a creative,
bro. Man,
he's a creative.
It wasn't something that we wanted to happen at this point. We're focused on the present. We're focused on now. We're focused on trying to get this ship moving in the right direction. And I think so far.
Didn't they come out and say none of this shit was true when Poles got him and we did our due diligence and all the rumors about him not wanting to be a Bear were just
it was made up.
But that's how you cover for your player and you don't let them take no heat.
No, you tell the fucking truth and you say, man, we understand why he probably felt that way.
No, you don't do because you don't think that again, like what I said, he's
You
only
don't think he was
foolish
talking
enough
to
to
a
come back and write a book and have to talk about it. Like,
right.
Dumb motherfucker, don't you know I just covered for you a year or so ago? You didn't have to come out and write no damn book talking about it.
And
What the
you
hell
know
is
you
wrong
gave
with
these people that take, you should know it's gonna come out. Go ahead, Ace. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't his book, but you know, and you got to also think Poles was trying to cover for his damn coach that he was going to keep for the upcoming season. That, you know, I'm all in on this coach, and this is the Bears organization, and you're coming into 100+ years of history of NFL football, and not telling them that this asshole that he's got hired as his head coach has no idea what he's doing, and we don't have an offensive coordinator, and I don't know what I'm doing, but you know, come on.
His
his
dad knew Eberflus sucked, just like we all knew Eberflus sucked.
That's what we've been doing. But for this to come out, it's been a distraction. So coming up here and talking about it and addressing it is important today. And so
you waited an extra week though, but we're gonna go on.
That's what we're here to do. Next is all that went down, all that was said. Yeah, I had a good visit at the other place, Minnesota, with Kendall.
It hurts my heart hearing them say this shit.
Good staff and all of that, obviously.
So, yeah. This coach is a grown man. He could cover for him, and that's why they put, you know, Coach BJ out there to protect his ass. And now he's got to buy in.
He just won Coach of the Year award and things like that. So obviously good staff and things like that. But something that keeps getting lost, something that keeps getting, I think, not being.
When he's nervous, he ums a lot. Because I've seen him do interviews this season, this off season, where he didn't say 2 ums, bro.
Yeah,
so he's got a tail.
And he should have a damn statement written out or memorized or something for this damn press conference that should have.
Well, he is. That's why he's doing all the ums.
Addressed the way it needs to be.
It's not written out. He's trying to, matriculate it from what they wrote down.
He's
is the fact that
off his head.
Yeah, he is.
You know, I went on that visit first, came here, and then after I came here, I went back home, talked to my dad, and all of the things that were
seems like his dad would have been traveling with him.
Supposed to be these big things that everybody's been talking about recently.
Have we seen his dad?
One never happened in the sense of they were all thoughts. They were all ideas. And I think if you're in the situation, I think if your son or daughter, anybody is in a situation to be in that position, I think you think about all of the options and, and you look at it, the history and the facts and all these different things. And, those are thoughts that go throughout your head in those situations. So, all of those were thoughts. And then after I came on my visit here, it was a deliberate answer and deliberate and determined answer that I had that I wanted to come here. And just like Ben spoke about, obviously, the past years, as everybody knows, it's a fact.
This is one thing he hasn't worked. You got me counting the ums, but this is obviously something he didn't work on in the offseason.
That quarterback.
Yeah, he'd be a drinking game, bro. Every time Caleb says, take a shot, you'd be dead, bro. Alcohol poison.
Play, there hasn't been a 4,000-yard passer. There's, there's all these different things that come up. And so, being able to have those thoughts is I think fair to be able to have, good and bad thoughts. But like I said, I came here on a visit. And like I said, just like Ben said, it's a challenge. To be able to come in here and try and turn around, and that was the main goal of all of that is to through all of what was going on, through all of what happened in last year and previous years, I think that was enticing. I think that was something that was glaring to me that I wanted to come here and be the guy and be a part and be a reason on why Chicago Bears turned this thing around. So that last thing that was said and all of that I think was the most important thing is that I wanted to be here. That I love being here. I love my teammates. I love all the people that got me here. Family, friends, Ryan, Kevin. Flus and Shane, all those guys that went through all of that process with me to get me here. But it was all those things, like I said, were thoughts. But the main goal and the main objective of being here is to turn around. That's why I was selected number 1. And so, that's what we're here to do. That's what they brought, me here to do. That's what they brought all these guys here to do. Joe, DJ, all these different guys. And that's why they brought Ben here. And so, like I said, it's a challenge. And we look at those challenges and, we don't laugh. We look at them really, really seriously. And, we go attack them, to the best of our ability to go and change it and turn it around. So, yeah.
Caleb, last year, by December 1st, the offense.
Maybe did.
The head coach has been fired. Did you sit there and have any thought that I saw this coming? The challenge.
No, I think obviously, you look at it and the challenge. First year guy, new coach, offense coordinator, and then new coach for me, new situation, knew all these different things. So wasn't at a point where I looked at it and was like, I knew this would happen. Nobody, I think, would sit back and especially after you go, 4-2 in the first 6 weeks.
You were 4-2.
You don't sit back and wonder and ponder on the bad. You face it when the bad comes, and that's what we did.
With some of the concerns you had before the draft about this organization, some of them seem to be justified when you go through a year like you did your rookie.
I just want to get to the part, DJ, where he was talking about he addressed them saying him not watching film.
Yeah, I have I have the utmost respect, and there's
because the media's
like I said, there's some good, bad, and indifferent. And, you got to look at those things.
Oh yeah, they coddle him, man.
I think
if this was Justin Field, they'd have been on his ass.
Talking about his family and his
in here, being the head guy, and he's and to be honest, he's consistent with it every day. So, excuse me. So him being here and being the head guy and doing all of those things and being consistent with it. So far, it's been awesome, and I think everybody's been enjoying.
I think it's a game day thing.
This time, but some of these things were said on the record. Did you and your camp, did you think it was like more useful for the time period when you did have the reservations before you came in and had the meeting and decided this was cool? Was that something, those conversations that were on the record, did you think maybe this is more useful for that time period when you were considering some?
The shit was on the record, Diesel. I love this brother that be asking questions. It was on the record, bro. All I'm saying, Diesel, is him and Pole should have came out without all them lies they told us. They solidified me last year that it was all rumors and innuendo that him and his dad was considering not being here. They lied, Diesel.
Of course.
Who lied?
Poles.
What? That's Poles sticking up for his person. He didn't. He never came out and said anything like that. It was Poles doing the talking for him, that's what you're supposed to do, right? But we all know every rookie that's coming in the league.
No. So you're saying Poles probably didn't know he was on the Poles probably didn't know he was on the record. That's what you're saying. Poles didn't know he talked to some fucking journalist and said these things too. Is that what you're saying? Otherwise, you're okay with Poles lying with something that's on the record?
If Poles knew he told somebody that, yes, still come up and stick up for your guy.
Wow.
To an extent. Yes, you stick up for them. Because you don't know if it's going. Who knew that they were a book
writing
coming
a book.
out? Yeah, this dumb mother. Don't you go write no damn book. You keep your mouth shut. That stuff, you can have those personal conversations, but it doesn't need to be going into anybody's book.
Man, they probably asked me, can we quote you on this in our book? Yeah.
His dad, have you seen his dad? His dad looked like he could be a relative of the Jackson family. Jesse, that is. If you look at his dad looked like he could be one of the Jacksons.
I'd rather have his dad running the Bears than Ryan Poles.
Other options, or at least trying to create some different avenues.
Yeah, I think.
But let's get to
a funny one that
about
came
the video.
out.
There it is. He's talking about the video.
Learning shortcuts.
He starts humming. He's going to start humming again, Ace, when they start talking about when he was telling us, saying, yeah, I was watching videos about poor me. I had to paint my fingernails and watch the videos about myself. And I was in there being autosexual, and I was watching myself in the mirror and pleasuring myself. And when I should have been watching the film, and if anybody was else in there with me, I probably would have been paying more attention.
Learning shortcuts, but learning ways to watch film and be more efficient. Learning ways to pick up things better. And so that was a funny one that came out that in context and how I was trying to portray it didn't get portrayed that way. So it wasn't that I didn't know how to watch film. I was trying to figure out the best ways and more efficient ways so I can watch more film, I can gather more information so that when I do go out there on game day, that it's, I'm that information that I gathered through Monday when we got back, all the way up to, whatever day the game day is. So when I get out there, I can gather it, I see it, I can react, and it's not me sitting there thinking so much about.
Has he not been doing this since high school and college? You see, ACU was kind of defending him a little bit, and you see all these veteran quarterbacks are coming out like this is the biggest crock of BS they've ever heard in their life.
It is. It is because besides having an iPad on the sideline where you're doing, looking at film at game time speed, you're watching film flying back home, or they're sending you the video of the game. That's on your laptop by the time you get home that night or in the morning, immediately. So to tell me that you don't know what you're looking at, or the coaches, or your position coach and the quarterback room isn't telling you what to look at as far as game film.
And you don't have the balls when these people tell you anything
the
you
game you're
need.
about to
This
play
is all about you.
ridiculous.
Right. And this is all about you, Caleb. This is all about you.
No, it comes down to when you need help on certain stuff, he may be asking him, but you see how that dude was on the sideline when they would show him?
No. He was too embarrassed to ask because his ego was too big. Bro, what else can it be? Every other I'm telling you,
out of here.
Quarterbacks
I'm saying we seen games where they're on the sideline, right?
So can he pick up the phone and call? Can he pick up the phone and call Tom Brady? I see him doing NIL deals and stuff with Tom Brady.
He probably was because dude wasn't trying to help him with like the stuff he was asking him for.
You telling me
help
that the quarterback's coach or the assistant offensive coordinator wouldn't have said, "Man, let's sit down and watch video with you if you need help with that"?
He didn't. That's what his whole complaint is.
That's their job.
That's what he's been talking about.
The NFL quarterbacks said no.
A lot of them do their own stuff on their own, but then they go and they still have to go over film when they got sessions.
That film was broken down.
You go
with
over
the whole team, the offense, yes. And they clip what they want you to watch, bro.
Yes.
And I'm saying as a leader, he's a captain of the damn team. They're doing everything.
Wait a minute. You already don't try to double talk the captain of the team because you already said he shouldn't have been a captain.
But
you've been saying that since he came, but he shouldn't have been. And that's just another example of why he shouldn't have been, because he wasn't equipped to go and read film, watch film, and study it on his own.
Bro, the quarterback is the CEO of the team, right?
Not all the time.
And you cannot be a hotshot CEO and you come in and I didn't know how to use
No, he's not the quarterback. He's number one overall damn draft pick. Generational quarterback that you brought in with an idiot for a damn head coach, an idiot for the offensive coordinator, the guy over there sideline shaking during the damn game. I would have fired him after that damn game.
Cliff Kingsbury taught him how to watch film. He could have called Kingsbury and he would have who do you want to watch film?
You know what? Bro? You know what he would have told him? I got my own problems. I can't help you.
No.
I got my own team. I can't help you watch film.
I can't help you.
Excuses are tools of the incompetent, and those who specialize in them will never amount to anything.
What was his reason?
I never heard Justin come out there and try to use an excuse after his bad rookie year that nobody was watching film.
What was his excuse?
I don't know, but that's the point. His excuse was, I need to work harder. I need to get better.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to throw his coaches under the bus.
Made excuses.
Right.
He never made excuses.
Never threw his coaches under the bus until that one time. Go ahead, Ace.
Oh, until that one time. Right, yeah.
Well, that one. I mean, come on, man. There's only so much you can take. So eventually, he was like, come on, man. Everybody in America doing the same damn thing. Everybody
his ain't on the team no more. JF1 was still on the team. His ain't on the team no more.
Bro, there's an assumption, to Ace's point earlier, when you're a quarterback at this level, that you A, know what you're looking at watching film. B, hold it. When you're watching a film, if you got questions, you slip it, you snip it, and then you go to somebody. You're being proactive. And I bet you Ben Johnson told him that. I guarantee you Ben Johnson told him that. Look, bro, if you need anything, Open up your mouth and ask for it, bro. That's
real
all I'm
coaches.
saying.
Yeah. We here to win. I don't know what the hell they was doing last year, but I'm here to damn win. I know how to run an offense. I know how to teach you how to run an offense, and we're building this offense around you. So if you got any questions, come to me, quarterbacks coach, offensive coordinator. We got all these people in line that's here to make you help us win. So
Never
let me
heard
help
Michael
you.
Jordan say nothing like this. Never heard Deion Sanders say nothing like this. The point we're making, Diesel, you brought up JF1. JF1 was never a generational. This guy's supposed to be Peyton Manning type level. Never heard Peyton Manning, and they just set me, and when I went home, they expected me to watch film by myself. That's all I'm saying, bro. You can't justify that. Hopefully he learns from it. Y'all got to stop coddling him, or else he's going to keep thinking
him.
You're Caleb Cutler.
I'm the fuck if I am. I just told you, what the hell is he doing talking about a book, criticizing this and keep your mouth shut. You don't got to be bringing that stuff up.
Well, he was in college. He thought that guy was his friend when he was rattling off his.
And listening to his dad, if it was up to his dad, he wouldn't be here. His dad was adamant. No, you ain't going there. And he went and took the visit anyway with the Bears.
Correct.
And that's what changed
and told his dad to stand down.
Yeah,
correct.
He told him to stay out of it. So that's probably why he didn't let his dad come on them trips with him to them teams. Because the teams have been like, wait a minute, we shouldn't be talking to Caleb. Let's talk to his dad. He's the decision maker.
No, man.
Well, back to Ryan Poles. If is this all somehow Ryan Poles' fault because he didn't bother to talk to anybody else? He didn't interview any other quarterbacks.
Yeah, he said he was going to be our quarterback.
Yeah, that's a fault. He's got that as a fault. Because he said he was going to draft him regardless. Which I get that because you could.
Regardless, he could have slapped the shit out of him and spit in his face, and Poles still would have drafted him. But he didn't want Jalen Carter.
Yeah, well, again, he said he drafted him, so I know what he's thinking. Like, even if we can't come to some agreement, he could trade him and it'd be worth just as much. But it's his fault. It's Poles' fault for hiring the idiot that he got from Seattle for the coordinator. And I mean, I don't fault Poles for giving Flus a shot because he hadn't been a head coach yet, right? But he's a defensive coach. You hired this dude from Seattle when really was Waldron there when Pete Carroll was there, right?
Yeah, he turned the color quarterback around last year. But
it was Pete Carroll who was really calling that offense. It wasn't him.
Carroll's a defensive guy.
Yeah, so the Waldron, that was just a horror. We were all questioning it when he brought him in. We were like, why would you bring this dude in? Their offense wasn't all of that.
Karen,
you should have fired the coach.
Karen, give me a close up. I want to see my big lips. If you give me 5 minutes in the and just give me 5 minutes, Chicago Bears, in the room with
Is this
Caleb.
a rant?
Yeah, this is a rant. I want to see my big lips on the scene. If you give me 5 minutes in the room with Caleb Williams, Diesel, here's what that conversation is going to look and sound like. Look, you autosexual son of a bitch. You listen to me and you listen now. I've been a Bears fan since 1975. And don't you come around here talking about the Bears, painting fingernails and wearing halter tops, and then talking about we got all of these resources around here, everybody at Hallis Hall, and you didn't have the balls to come ask for help if you needed help. Your ego is way too inflated. We need you to come out here and be a ma'am. We want ma'am in our uniform. And Ace, I want to see your big lips. Karen, get Ace on here. I want him to, a 5-minute conversation, Ace. What are you going to say to Ryan Poles if the McCaskey family gave you 5 minutes in a room alone with Ryan Poles? What's your conversation look like?
Listen here, you son of a bitch. You screwed up the organization for the last few years. You could have kept Justin. You could have had this son of a bitch and kept Justin. And we could have been continuing on with a veteran quarterback. This son of a gun, painting his fingernails, carrying a Merce. He could have been playing this year. And Justin could have took 58 sacks if that's what it would have took last year. We could have had a damn 68 sacks in a damn season. And Justin was apparently faster than this guy, because he didn't have 68 sacks. But listen here. You're fired. Matter of fact, there's nothing else to talk about. Get your shit Matter of fact, you don't have to worry about getting your shit. Go to your Chevy Malibu, whatever the hell you're driving, the minivan, and drive home and get the wife and move out of Chicago immediately because we found a trained chimp that can do the same thing you're doing as a general manager. And good luck to you and God bless.
Yeah, we're gonna use AI or you're fired, Ryan Pauls. All right, Diesel, what do you think about those takes? Those are honest takes from Chicago Bears fans.
I mean,
FGB.
Both of you guys is you still sour, from field, so it's understandable, and you got to let it go. You got to let it fucking go.
Nothing to do with
And the only thing I would tell if I'm in the meeting with Brian Poles is I'm gonna tell him the same way that he told him on when he got Waldron. I just, man, you fucked up. What the hell were you thinking of? You don't need this. All these other proven offensive coordinators out there, and you're gonna get this guy. You fucked up. The next thing you do wrong, you out of here too. Because now you done set us back another year. So, yeah. But as far as
and what's your message to Caleb?
I'm gonna
5
tell
minutes.
him,
You're in the room alone with Caleb, and he wants to hear your opinion as a lifelong Chicago Bears fan.
I'm gonna tell him any of your personal opinions about staff and the Bears on hand at this time. You wait till your tenure is over with this organization before you say any fucking thing else. Now, I don't care if it's your private conversations out of place. You better make it. You ain't quoting shit. Don't quote nothing. You wait until your tenure is over with this organization before you go making quotes and all of this talk. Cease and desist with it.
Are you gonna call him a little bitch?
I ain't gonna call him nothing, but I'm gonna tell him your dad ain't gonna be welcome on the premises if you ain't talking about changing.
See, that's that military coming out of Diesel. That's what I'm saying, Diesel. You know damn well. And football, the NFL was based off the military. The military started it, man. You know damn well you can't be running around and my CO and I was sitting there talking about your training. Your CO gonna come to you like, bro, we got everything here for you to help you.
I got no problem talking about a guy because he's no longer there, right? So because his tenure's over with the Bears, right?
Right. He's not on payroll.
But I'd caution him,
and
tell him like, listen, if you want to voice your opinion about people who no longer here, that's fine. But understand something: these people can address you. Because they ain't here no more.
Correct.
So if your whole slate ain't clean, you be careful what you wish for when you start going addressing people that you work with in a negative tone.
Showing some balance. All right. Classy. I'm proud of you, Diesel. I'm starting to get concerned with Chicago Simeon. I'm like, I don't know how they won a game.
Nah, we too many times we have people from Eisenhower in the stands chirping in the ref's ears.
Hey, Benji gave me love, man. R.I.P. Benji. Boy, they was clowning me. I told y'all that story. Benji gave me, but he knew my big brothers, though. That's what I later found out. He thought I was one of them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the Milz family name was on the back. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. He's like, Milz. He's like, T. Milz. You know what I'm saying? People stopped clowning me immediately. Gave me a little, he was over there with 2 days. I'm like, look at man. I should have transferred to Simeon and rolled them in.
You should have,
Could have got a scholarship.
You've definitely been down at U of I
on a package deal, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Neil before it was Neil. Yeah.
Camp BJ, y'all. One thing, and this is on the coaching, because they were doing that when Justin was there. Yeah, he can't get under center. And they was doing that last year with Caleb. And that's why you saw him in the shotgun. And that's why you saw him getting sacked so many times. And they asked Coach BJ about it, and Coach BJ said it's going to take reps, right? So BJ said getting in and out of the huddle. They said, bro, they'll break the huddle and they're not breaking it right or something. Do it again. Do it again. All that stuff that your boy Ryan Poles was overlooking in minicamp, BJ ain't overlooking none of that.
I didn't think it would look right in training camp, and I thought I addressed it in the middle of the season and fire a Bears coach for the first time in team history.
After telling all y'all that everything was running smooth when we was 4-2.
I'm giving him a vote of confidence.
Yeah, keep the repetition. You get used to it. You keep doing it over and over. It's gonna become like night and day. And remember, we not just last year. I mean, for the past, what, 10, 15 years, we've never liked the Bears 2-minute drills, right? We just haven't. For whoever's been back there, quarterback coordinators, we never liked their 2-minute drills.
I tell you what, that some bitch got a clutch gene though. Go ahead, Caleb got a clutch fucking gene.
Yeah, he does have
He'd be
a
my
clutch.
closer. I would have started Justin Fields, and at the end of the second quarter and fourth quarter, I'd have brought in Caleb.
So it's funny, and just think if he's able to tighten up that 2-minute drill type stuff where you doing these reps over and over, go into the huddle, get out, semi-huddle.
Having a plan, having an offensive coordinator that knows what the hell he's doing, the head coach know what the hell he's doing, I think they'll be fine.
Having some all-pro offensive linemen.
When we were call plays and they wouldn't like huddle, and he's calling at the line, the play clock would still get down low by the time he's snapping the ball.
Yes.
So it's like, what the hell is that?
Or like when they was complaining that DJ Moore, like y'all be pointing it out, the receivers ain't even set, and sometimes they let us get away with it. And that's the type of stuff that Ben Johnson saw watching film.
Hey, what's going on?
Y'all supposed to get out. Yeah. And he's been on Cole Kmet's ass, they said, bro.
Good. Because it ain't necessarily always pre-snap penalties. It's pre-snap deficiencies with your players not being where they're supposed to be.
You got to get where you're supposed to be. This is the timing of the play. If you're not working on the timing of a play and get in and out of the huddle, the time of the play, so you can see what the hell the defense is doing, then maybe you can change to that second option or third option. Then you're behind. And that's what Ben Johnson is trying to teach these guys.
Man, listen.
Well, I guarantee you, Chicago Leo and Chicago Simeon's practice was probably harder than 95% of the games they played. Go ahead, Diesel.
If these pros, and I ain't just talking about the Bears, there's a lot of NFL teams that had deficiencies when they trying to run hurry-ups and go to the line and no huddles. Man, I'd have them doing what them college teams do. Hold the sign up from the sideline. Hold it up.
Y'all crazy.
They like, okay, yeah, that's the next play. Okay, hold it up. I bet you they'll get it in them practice sessions because it'll be embarrassing. Like, hey, man,
it'll be very embarrassing.
This ain't college. It look like it, man. But I think definitely they should embarrass them. If you don't want to get into the plays, get out of the plays, figure out what the hell it takes to win again an NFL game from the first quarter, the kickoff, to second quarter, third quarter, and be in position to win the game in the fourth quarter, which Eberflus, I'm sure, never went over as a coach. Then
we got a tough schedule, man. We got one of the toughest in the league.
We're gonna have it every year. We're in the NFC North.
Even without, if you just exclude the North, and so that's what, 6 games, right? Or is it 6?
Yeah.
So and take all of the rest of the games. That schedule is one of the toughest in the league for the remaining part of or just
look at him already making excuses for Caleb.
No, not making no excuses for him. My whole point is that you need to be on point. When that season starts,
100%.
I don't want them to take. Look, if it takes them playing the preseason, now it's still only 3 preseason games, right?
Yeah,
right. Yeah. So it's 3. So
you think he's going to play in the Go ahead, finish your statement.
That's what I'm getting to. Is how much time you going to make these people play the preseason to be ready day one? That's it's tricky, right?
Depends on how they looking.
They've gotten these OTAs this past week and a half to align with the new coach. And yes, all of these guys are playing for a job. I don't give a damn what their contract says or whatever the hell is going on. You got a new coach in town. You pretty much damn near going to have a new general manager in town if the Bears don't win this year. So, you go out there trying to do whatever the hell you do if you got any damn sense to make this team.
Caleb Williams is on the clock this year. He's on the clock. You heard it from me.
He's still uttering to our media I mean, I only threw 6 interceptions. I mean, in the NFL, that's good. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to say, but you got sacked 68 fucking times.
We don't give a damn about that shit. Throw the damn ball.
If you
These
notice,
are one of them to throw more picks.
if you know, I did because
Yeah.
I wanted him throwing. Don't be afraid of the routes.
Don't
and
be
what
afraid
you
of the
see.
50-50 balls and all
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
let your guys try to make plays, man.
Yeah.
I think he said the offense sucked.
To me, your first year is the year that you can just do whatever.
Let it go, huh?
Because they know it's your first year.
Yeah.
They're not going to hold it against you.
Yeah.
And the progression. So now you only threw 6 last year. You beat them throwing 15 this year.
Right. Now they're going to be looking at you with
They're
the
gonna be like,
side
what's
eye.
wrong with him? Like, nah, you should have do like
Got your 20 off last year.
20 touchdowns, 20 interceptions last year.
And 30 sacks.
Find those spots. Find
Right.
those holes.
Right.
Yeah, so
Oh, man, see if I can fit it in here.
If he don't perform this year, where by the end of this season, we're going, we got our quarterback.
Hold it, Diesel. Now I'm going to push back because y'all did the same thing to JF1, and this is what me and A said. We were going to be right back here in this spot.
No.
He needs more than a season to get his legs up
You're
on him.
missing what I'm saying. And no, it was the same thing I said with JF1.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to say when the season's over, we know he's our quarterback. He's in the right direction. Yeah. I ain't saying that he's got to be all world.
You mean he's in a little boy band where they carry Merces and paint that the right direction.
Well, he must be. Got you guys as the managers, on the side. Yeah. Play it, boy. Play it now. Play it. Yeah. So no, he's got to perform enough to where his star is shining in the right direction.
So what does that look like for y'all? What does that look like where he's off the clock after this full season? And big ups to him. Let me say this before y'all answer that, because people will listen to this pod and be like, man, they hate Caleb. I had somebody in the comments like, bro, you go the hardest on Caleb than anybody in the world. I'm like,
yeah, you hey, if they put a little doll in the corner of your screen of Caleb, you'd have an X. If they put a doll of Poles in his screen, he'd have an X over him. So
right.
But
let me just say this.
We ran our quarterback out of town for this son, bitch.
Right.
The coach said, the general manager said that this was our coach going into last season. He vouched for him. He doubled down and vouched for him at the beginning of last season.
That's right.
And when did he fire him?
That's right. Middle of the season. First coach ever, Chicago Bear coach ever fired.
Yeah, he had to come. He had to come.
and he saw that the shit wasn't going right in practice, and he didn't fire him then.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say this. Caleb is a clutch SOB. I believe he's tough. He got up. He played every game. I believe he has a passion for football. I believe that he wants to win. And he's got great arm talent. He's done some things with the football that I've never seen another quarterback do. I will say that. Oh yeah, bro, he be that ball will come out, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I like about Caleb. And but y'all tell me, what does it look like to get him off of the clock? You looking at wins or you looking at his production?
This is his second season. There's no way he could be on the clock. Just like Justin shouldn't have been on the clock in his third season going into the damn fourth season.
National media got him on the clock, and they don't even talk about the dude at Jacksonville. They got Caleb on the clock. But go ahead, Ace.
Ace can go first. Go ahead.
He's a rookie quarterback from last year. He's coming into his second season. First of all, he shouldn't even been playing last year to maybe middle of the season, or when you got to 7 or 8 down losses in a row, if that's the direction the team was going. But if he would have been able to hold the clipboard, learn a little bit more about being an NFL quarterback, whether it was seeing JF1's skills or Bilbo's skills, Bilbo couldn't start in front of him. Slow down. But, just somebody that knows about being an NFL quarterback and processing from the first quarter to a victory in the fourth quarter, then, I can understand him being but there's no way he should be on the clock until maybe his fourth or fifth year.
Well, I'm going to say, I would say third season. I'll put him on the clock, but I think he's on the clock, Ace. Before you wrap it up, because I know you're just wrapping it up, is because man, we got like Pro Bowl linemen. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And we got a great defense, so people are expecting results. But go ahead and wrap it up. Then I'll throw it to Diesel. I want to hear his take.
Well, all that mention is they're all here for the first year. We got a whole new interior offensive line from guard to guard.
Whole new offense.
Yeah, we got a new offense, new coach, new coaches. We got rid of all that nonsense, hopefully, that we had last year. We got new running backs. We got new receivers. We're trying to build this team through the draft and free agency accordingly. I know Brian Poles lied to us and told us he was going to take the North and never give it back. But you got to build a football team the way you need to build it. And you had a chance to build it to the draft, and you fumbled the damn ball by trading back one pick when we could have had an all-pro 3 technique. And you went and got a Hall of Fame Jones. I mean, it's, 5-round polls. Let me say that again. But, he's not on the clock until maybe the end of the third season. If he's not progressing by the end of year 3, then you got to look at, fixing the situation.
Moving off of it.
But I don't think we'll be in that position because he's got some, he got some special talent that needs to be honed by a coach, an offensive coordinator, and a system that knows how to win an NFL football game.
And hold him accountable and not walk around and act like his shit don't stink. Caleb a fart in the room. Oh, that smells good. Doesn't that smell good? It's like that Twilight Zone. It was like that. You got to keep your camera on. We're in speaker mode. So when you talk, they can't see you until you speak. But yeah, bro. Yeah, it's like that Twilight Zone episode, Diesel, when it's like that Twilight Zone episode when they had that little boy that had all those special powers and nobody could say anything bad about him. That was Caleb, bro. I bet you that's how last season went for Caleb. Yeah, we like Caleb. Yeah, he 68 sacks is good. Yeah, we like yeah. We like when he paint his nails. Yeah, he's a cat. Yeah. I like Caleb. Yeah, he don't do nothing wrong. We're gonna fire all the coaches and get rid of him.
Those mercies.
Nah, listen, man.
All right. Let's hear Diesel.
He's on the clock, and I'm gonna tell you why. It don't take that long in the NFL no more. It just don't. And maybe not necessarily for the whole team winning, but the pieces are in place. Compare this to Washington from last year. Washington's squad overall, except for running back position, quarterback position, offensive coordinator, better than the Bears. The rest of that team was not better than the Bears. Okay, receivers, we probably had better receivers than they did. They only had Terry McLaurin. They had better running backs. Their running backs were better than ours, and their quarterback outplayed ours. But defense and everything else, we were a better team. They got to the NFC Championship, right? Well, was that the NFC Championship? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was the NFC Championship. Yeah.
So it don't take, and let's say they didn't, right? Even let's say they didn't even make the playoffs. I'm speaking of Washington. Look at Jaden Daniels, though, and you go, hey, that's their quarterback. Because you can see what he's doing, how he's impacting the game.
And you know what Jaden said, bro? They asked him about what do you have to prove for next season? Jaden said, you got to prove something. He said, this is the NFL. I got to prove it every single game. I love Jaden. And had Poles interviewed him, he might have fallen in love with him.
Every year. You got to prove it. And you like to. That's my point, that Caleb's got players in place. All of the pieces are there. He needs to have a solid year, because if he doesn't, when this season is over, you don't want them asking those questions like, hey man, we might be needing to look in the draft again for another quarterback if he's not looking to have that kind of promise by the end of the season. You could even take Houston, right? CJ Stroud, go back a couple of years ago when he come into the league, you knew that you got your quarterback, regardless if that team made the playoffs or whatever.
This was Diesel's whole reason for moving off Justin, because he's like these modern day quarterbacks. Because remember, Ace, we was talking about it's going to take 3 years to develop this guy, and Diesel was saying the whole time it shouldn't take that long in the modern NFL.
And so I want to see him progress to where when the season's over, we're not asking questions about our quarterback, right? That's all I want. If we're not
What
asking questions,
stat wise, what does that look like?
I don't
How
know,
many
man.
sacks
I
are
don't.
you
I
accepting
don't know
with
because
that line? 30?
let's say the Bears. Let's say we got a losing record, right? But we
Right.
lose all the games we lose are like by one score
Right.
in the fourth quarter or something to
Right.
that effect,
Right.
right?
We had an NFL record of losing games on the last play last season. A lot of NFL records under Flus.
But we know that Caleb didn't. He looked good at end of games. It was just a stuff in between the games that he didn't look great, right? So, but I want to see him look where the quarterback ain't the question, where it's other things that are the question. So we know, hey, he's our guy for the future. So, in essence, is he? I say he's on the clock to an extent, maybe not to a full extent, but he's got a lot of pieces.
I'm kind of agreeing with Diesel somewhat.
No way.
I would give him to like week 9, where if I can make this evaluation, because they got a new system. He's got to learn, like Justin had to learn a new system every year. It takes a while to get comfortable in that. But man, we finally got a center, bro. We got two dogs at guard.
We got pieces.
Yeah.
We got pieces.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying he's got to be all world throwing for 4,500 yards.
No.
All of that. I'm still pissed that they didn't get a running back. They need a freaking starting running back.
But he might look better behind that new line, bro.
He
might
will,
look better.
but he still is a number 2 back. He's not a number 1 no more.
We'll
He
see.
wasn't. I don't even think he was
we'll
the number
see.
1 in Detroit when he was there.
Well, after BJ didn't like.
He didn't have the. He didn't have a mem in the running backs room like he does now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holding everybody accountable.
But yeah, I'm optimistic, and again, I just want to see it progressing. Well, at the end of the season, quarterback isn't our question.
For me, it looks like 35 touchdowns since he threw for 26 last year. I want to see Caleb 35 touchdown passes. I'll be okay with up to 15, even 20 interceptions.
I'll go 13.
But the sacks have got to be down, cut in half. I want to get those sacks down to like 30, 35 with that line, because there's no reason he should be taking those sacks with his mobility and with that line he's got. But again, that's going to come with time. So that's what it looks like for me. And about 3,500 yards passing, and I'm like, we got our guy. But as far as his measurables, bro, what I see him do, bro, I'm pretty confident we got our guy, man. It's just all this quirky off the field stuff that concerns me, and that stuff affects the locker room, bro.
It's because of the internet, bro. Wait, there's a lot of this stuff that we keep hearing with the players. It's people creating content because there's no news out there to follow at the point in time. So as you keep getting all this information, you're like, shit, years ago, you wouldn't have had none of this information. A lot of this stuff that comes out daily in regards to players and everything. So the internet, it creates a buzz. It creates livings for people too.
Oh yeah.
But you got to know how to balance. Like, man, I ain't sweating that shit. What's the next storyline to come through? Till it's something serious, right?
I just hope Caleb wins the starting quarterback job for the Chicago Bears, because what I've been told, there's a competition for every position on this team this season, and hopefully he comes out as the number 1 quarterback for the Bears going into the new season. And we'll see what all the other positions lie. We went out and got some damn free agents that hopefully will help our offensive line, some defense, defensive end. We went and got a defensive tackle. We went and built the team up to hopefully that we can matriculate to some wins this year. And we got a new coaching staff, and the guy is making $13 million. We got a former head coach as our defensive coordinator. We got a former offensive coordinator as our damn running backs coach. So if you telling me that we're not counting on his brain trust along with Justin maturing a year and these players maturing another year, then you got to be crazy. We need the players to follow whatever system that's being put in place for him. And if it's not the right system, then damn it, he got to go too. But there is no way that he shouldn't progress from season 1 the season 2 to be ready for season 3. Because I don't see them winning a damn Super Bowl this year. But you're trying to progress your team while you're hiring these offensive linemen. You're going into free agency. You're getting X players, X, Y, Z player. Spend a #1 damn draft pick on a hurt tight end, and you spend another 2 pick on a hurt wide receiver. So hopefully these guys progress. Otherwise, we're going back to my mantra for this year: fire Ryan Poles.
Hey, before you hit your final words, Diesel, they said your boy Brisker is back, and they said they love it, bro. They said Brisker be out there yapping. They say he all over the field. I kept telling y'all last year, man, when we lost Brisker, man, nobody's talking about it. That hurt our team a lot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
man,
Briscoe, the whole again, I last year was just such a weird year. You know, like we in games and just it was
I know. I know.
It was like the coaching staff, and nobody knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
manager, coach.
This shit was like a season in Madden where everything go wrong. You know what I mean?
Oh, injury. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, owner dies. Oh,
yeah. All right, Diesel. Hit us up with your final words about anything we covered
final
today.
words. I was thinking about this. I was like, man, just for one season, he looked like one of the toughest quarterbacks we've ever had because he taking a beating, and in his weirdo mind, it didn't bother him. He was he was still up, still back there, still taking his lumps. I want to see how much they play them in the preseason. They need to play. You figure the last game they played like a half. I want to see them play. I would like to say a whole full game of snaps in the preseason. That's one half with the last game, a quarter maybe in the second game, and a quarter in the first game. But you need those reps for them to, to get, playing in that new offensive system to be ready to go on opening day. So I'm hoping they play a total of a quarter, and that's the first team on offense throughout the whole preseason. And just based on everything, he should progress. The offense should progress. New line, new coordinator, everything should be easier. It shouldn't be harder. And quite honestly, we should be right there to win the division. Do I think any of them teams in our division are better?
Vegas got the over under 8.5. Go ahead.
I don't think no team in our division is better than us. Just looking at them pound for pound, Detroit lost a lot. I mean,
they lost their offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
coaches.
We took their offense.
And not just him, the defensive coordinator, he went to the Jets.
With JF1. He watched JF1 play. He was calling defenses against JF1 and went out and signed him. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And they lost, and again, remember how many players they had injured on defense last year. It was probably a record for a season. And we always play Detroit tough. I think we can go toe-to-toe with the Packers, and the Vikings got a rookie QB coming in to start. So
FGB.
I think the division is up for grabs. It's up for the taking. I think the Bears should be right there. Only our, schedule outside of the division is so tough. But I think we can be right there because the one good thing about Ben Johnson, he's confident. He don't be backing away from nothing.
Trying to win games.
So I think that's going to be a reflection on this team. And we keep not mentioning the defensive coordinator. He's aggressive.
He's a slave driver.
Yeah, he's aggressive dude. So
hey, don't forget about Bieniemy. He in there talking about.
Oh yeah, I forget, man. And we forget about some of the coaches, the specific coaches, like the wide
Antoine
receivers
Randall
coach,
out of Taunton,
line coach, all of that. So I'm looking forward to the season. Looking forward to it. I know we're gonna crack on different players and coaches and all that stuff. But I'm actually looking forward to the season. I just hope we get another running back before the actual season start.
Right now, how many W's are you? Just wild guess.
17 games. I'm gonna
Tough
say
schedule.
10.
Vegas got him at 8.5. So you better bet the over.
10. Now, I believe I gave before the schedule came out, I think I said like 11 or 12. But
Yeah.
once I see the schedule, I'm saying 10. Because I think we got the players. And it's just
learning offense.
They got to learn the offense and show up and
the new
perform.
defensive system.
Yeah. Because that's gonna, but hopefully that defensive system is more favorable to the players.
He's aggressive, Diesel, what you've been asking for since Lovey. He's an aggressive defensive play caller.
No, that's good. That's good. Because when you're aggressive, it's not as predictable as the people that's soft. They're more predictable when you soft because teams know what to expect consistent. When you're aggressive, you bring us pressure from everywhere.
And you're making the quarterback think. You're making the quarterback think.
Yes, you're gonna need that when you play Minnesota and that rookie twice.
I don't respect them. They got a rookie back there at the helm.
Pretty good coach though, who can call plays though. You know what I mean? So
a rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie. That's why I say you want to put that pressure on him, keep him thinking. Keep him thinking. Don't take the foot off the gas.
Pay somebody an extra 20 grand just that you go in there, you're pouring stupid, hit him right in that knee. Go ahead though.
Yeah, but no, I'm looking forward to it. When does training camp start?
Go ahead, I'll look it up.
We did OTAs last week. Because
training camp was probably the end of August. Or no, not the end of August, but the end of July. End of July, probably around there.
I think it's the middle of July. We got extra OTAs because we got a new head coach.
Mid to late July, y'all.
Yeah.
4 p.m. New York time on July 21st is the first scheduled day of the first NFL training camp, gentlemen.
Okay. And looking forward to training camp. And I might even try to go to one of them man, damn, it's only 3 preseason games, man. I was gonna try to go to one of them.
Oh yeah, me and wifey going to Vegas, man. Her family for that game, bro. And September 28th weekend.
We come to Vegas?
Yeah, we go to Vegas, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
With tampering Tom Brady, who's been tampering with our quarterback.
Tampering with the league. Tampering with Shadua.
Tampering with the balls. Tampering, looking at everybody's plays.
Deflate balls.
Yeah, but no, I'm looking forward to it. And I know we didn't really cover baseball since my final words.
Cubs, baby.
Cubs are a good team. They're not a great team. They need to
Sox are better.
No, the Sox are competitive. I get them that. Yeah. They've been losing, not as much.
Did you say the Sox are better than the Cubs?
No.
The Sox are better than last year.
Well, damn, they had the worst record ever. I mean, come on.
But if you watch their games, they're competitive. They be losing by like 1 run a lot.
They have no damn offense.
Right. That's the Achilles heel, no offense. The Cubs need one more starting pitcher because I think the Steele is out for the year, and they need a closer.
They'll go get him.
They got to get him because they got the offensive talent, and they are pretty cheap. I watched them battle back in games where they start losing and they come back each time. Like so, yeah.
They beating some of the best teams in baseball, bro.
Oh, they had one of the toughest schedules.
Start now.
Yeah. But their game, their offense and defense is game. They just need one more starter and a bona fide closer. But shit, it's so hard in baseball right now to get a closer, man. Like they all be getting hit. You think the game is over and the team give up 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th when you had a 2-run lead. Like, what the hell? So yeah, but
can we get a Go Cubs or FGB out of you?
You know what? You can give for me. I'm gonna get me a PCA rookie card. Same way I did Tim Anderson when he was going off. I went and bought his rookie card.
Yeah, how much is that?
P. Crow Armstrong. I'm gonna get a rookie card.
Yeah, he's drop dead gorgeous.
So we can't get a Go Cubs or FGB out of you?
Nah, man, I'm actually tired of that damn song. After the Cubs, every time they win, they start playing the song.
Go Cubs, go! Boy, you can take your shirt off, me in the sun. What? Jumping over, falling on the field on your neck.
He needs to update the version. Cause in the version he's got, he's like there's a version where he refers to WGN. You can catch them now on WGN. They ain't on WGN no more.
Yeah,
They ain't got no games on WGN.
It's tradition.
Yeah, it's tradition.
No, you need no tradition. You need to update the song. Come with a different verse for that. But yeah, that's it.
Old timer.
Cubs won again today. Sox lost again by 1 run. So
yeah,
but they're better than the Cubs, according to you guys.
I said they're better than last year. FGB.
Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! You can't hate on that.
All I said is take the second verse when it says WGN. He needs to update that because they don't play games on WGN no more.
Well, I don't hear a White Sox song. Let me see if I can find such.
Yeah, you know what the Sox song was? Nah, nah, hey, hey.
Oh yeah, that's tight.
Believe the Journey.
Did we have that first, or did the Journey have that first?
What? The Don't
Stop Believing.
Nah, 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 nah.
No, that was early 80s, baby.
Yeah.
They got a song.
White Sox, White Sox, go White Sox. Let's go White Sox.
See, they should play this, but they should be playing that though, man. Yeah, they should play this, man.
You're always in their fight.
It's tradition.
Do your best. We're glad to have you out here in the Middle West. We're gonna root White Sox and cheer you on to victory.
Man, the Pinks would be drunk. They'd be singing this word for word, bro.
That show you how much weight that song got. I ain't never heard it to the day.
I know, right? The Pinks
So,
ain't
yeah.
but that's on the White Sox. They should be playing that, bro.
Nah.
Tradition.
Cubs song is straight. They just got to update that second verse. Take the WGN line out.
Hey, your boy Shoeless, you're a gambler. You're a sports wagerer. Your boy Shoeless Joe Jackson and Pete Rose got forgiven. What's your take on that?
Well, they should. I mean, look, you're talking about guys who've been making mistakes. If the people who allegedly done enhancement drugs and all of that, they got in the hall. Some of them, not all of them right now, but I mean, Big Papi, right?
Yeah,
he's in the hall, right?
Blackie Bonds ain't getting in.
David Ortiz is in the hall, right?
Yeah, and Roger Clemens is in the hall too. He was juicing up.
They vote. No, wait a minute. Roger Clemens ain't in the hall.
Oh, okay.
No. His case was too bad. It's like him and the wife and all that.
The wife is
Ortiz, I think at one point she was like on that Balco list.
Wow.
Don't quote me on that, but I know it was something along those lines. I don't know. But Ortiz was on that list. Big Papi Ortiz. He was on the list.
He was using.
And they voted him in.
He shouldn't be in. He costed your socks, and so did Albert Bell. They costed y'all socks, bro. The socks.
And Jason Giambi crossed Frank Thomas an MVP. He got second when he was in Giambi was in Oakland.
Yes, Albert Bell was juicing up. All of them. Yeah.
Now, I don't think Albert Bell wasn't on the list. He just used to have court bat occasionally.
Yeah, that was what they were saying.
I think he was on booger sugar.
Yeah, the ball was juiced and the bat was corked, and he was putting those needles in his arm with the juice, in my opinion.
No, I don't think Albert Bell.
Yeah, they put David Ortiz in there in 2022, and he got 77.9%.
But Shoeless Joe Jackson allegedly threw the World Series, bro.
But my point is, if you was doing performance enhancing,
Damn.
Barry Bonds, if you letting anybody who did performance, he should be the first one in the hall because he was a hall without it.
Correct.
And then he did it, so he should be the first one to go in. But you let
Ortiz
Ortiz
you weren't testing
go in
for it.
Yeah, he never admitted to it.
Yeah, they weren't testing.
He was more like, if I did do steroids, I would have hit 70
Yeah.
home runs.
I'd have wrote a book.
So, but that's my whole point. So, if you letting Pete Rose and them in, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And they did an infraction that they
Charlie
know
Rose.
would
Charlie
get them
Hustle.
banned from the sport.
I bet that was the last game I saw.
Then you gotta let all of these people. I mean, Sammy
With the red
Sosa.
zone change.
Do you know Sammy Sosa's the only person to hit like 60 home runs 3 times in the season? 60 or more?
Do you know he's the only person who took so many steroids
Allegedly.
that he literally turned white?
No, them ain't from steroids. That ain't from roids. That's like that stuff Michael Jackson was on.
That's what he's going to do. Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't from roids.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's
he did. Did he ended up looking like Casper or something?
Revitiligo. He had revitiligo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably
Yeah,
sleeping
yeah.
in one of them funny chambers or something, you know.
I think he was on Boogie Sugar too.
Yeah, he was definitely on the Booger Sugar. Booger Sugar's, there's
But
more
yeah,
people on it.
if you're gonna let them if you're gonna let those guys in, then the people who were performance enhancing, I mean, you can let it if you want to put like a special category. These are guys who allegedly did this.
I disagree. I'm not, gambling's one thing, but enhancing yourself through drugs is another thing, bro. It's just two separate entities. It's apples and oranges.
The gambling is a death sentence. The gambling is a death sentence according to baseball. If you get caught gambling, you are.
But they forgive that. They
forever.
forgive that because the gambling, the marketing, the gamblers are paying for baseball now. It's big now. They advertise it during the games on the apps, but they're not
test for
advertising
drugs now.
steroids. But
They test for it. You see players all the time getting 80 games.
If steroid use becomes
Then
legal,
the next time they get like the season ban.
if steroid use becomes legal in American society and more okay, then maybe so. But that hasn't happened. Gambling has become okay now.
No, steroids
They
are
weren't
illegal
tested
if you
for
get
it.
them prescribed by a doctor. So again, it's the same
They
thing
were
with
going to
gambling.
doctors.
It's illegal unless you're doing it through a site.
The NFL allows them to smoke reefer now, but they didn't before.
Exactly.
They did.
Well, yeah, they wink certain players look the other way. They'll let you do that booger shit. All right, wrap up your final words there, Diesel, and then I'm
Final
gonna throw it
words.
to Ace.
I'd let them all in. Just put a special category. All of them. If you qualify and you get voted in, you put a special category. These
The
are
juice room
performers
at the
in-
Hall of Fame.
The juice room at the hall.
Man, that's some bullshit.
You can have them all sitting there, and you can have the gambling room at the hall. Because them
These some
gamblers,
bitches.
you just wasn't supposed to bet on the sport. Period. Now, the Joe Jackson bet on the sport, and he just threw the game.
He gambled. Both. That's the same thing. He got paid to throw the World Series. Not just him though, but he was a stud, bro.
Right. Well, it's just like what you said. So if somebody else could get money to making out, or you see what I'm saying? It's a little bit different than betting on the sport. If you're getting like money directly to do something, it's, you know what I mean, same implications. But make a separate thing for these guys. Put them in there. Put them in there.
Man, the prestigious Hall of Fame. These older white players before you were allowed to play are rolling over in their graves right now. Babe Ruth is rolling over in his grave.
Babe Ruth was black and white. So
Yeah.
that's the part they never want to bring up.
Oh yeah,
That's
I agree.
an argument for another day.
Hell, he grew up in Baltimore. He had to be copper color.
All right, but I'm out, y'all. I'll holler.
Hey, peace and blessings, bro. Be blessed out there.
Pop it out. Yeah. Be safe.
Yeah. All right, Ace. Let's wrap this up with your final words there, fella.
Yeah, going back to this baseball thing. If Charlie Hustle has been I think it's all some crap. If Major League Baseball is making money off gambling now, they made money off of steroids when those players were hitting home runs, filling up the damn ballparks, and they weren't testing for the crap. And the hypocrisy for these writers to say that they aren't Hall of Fame players just because some of them were allegedly taking enhancement drugs when they weren't testing for them, and they were making money off of these guys, and they were filling up the damn stadiums, and then they want to decide, oh, okay, wait a minute, this doesn't look good. So yeah, we're gonna start testing for steroids and performance enhancing drugs. I think it's all a crock of shit. That if you're gonna leave this vote up to these guys, that I'm sure are going to vote soon as Joe Jackson in. Maybe not this next year, or maybe the following year. They're dead. So they're going to eventually vote these drop dead gorgeous players in, like Joe Jackson and Pete Rose. Then the players that are alive now that weren't banned from baseball, that were allegedly taking performance enhancing drugs, and that were making money for MLB, the MLB brand, and all these players and teams, these teams that they play for, then they should be considered and they should be put into the Hall of Fame based on their ability to hit a damn fastball, whether they can hit 40 of them for 3 or 4 or 5 seasons, or 70 of them for 3 or 4 or 5 seasons. If they had a career that was chronicle enough to make them all-star Hall of Fame players, then put them in the Hall of Fame. We definitely know that Barry Bonds was a Hall of Fame player before he allegedly started doing what it took to hit 70 home runs in a season. But he was locked in, and you can blame it on the juice, but damn it, if you got to walk a guy 2 or 3 times a game to have a chance to beat his team, I think he's got some kind of special talent other than some damn performance enhancing drugs. So.
And he was Gold Glove early in his career.
Yeah, he was everything. I mean, his father was a damn Hall of Fame player. So you're going to tell me that based on your feelings of what took place for these players as they became superstars in MLB and made money for everybody, even some major stories worth reading, you're telling me that now that they don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, it's all a crop.
What gives you the confidence that if
that's all, that's my final word on what those guys are talking about for Barry Bonds, Shooters Joe Jackson, Pete Rose. It's like any Hall of Fame is based on your playing career, and if you want to strike down any players based on their outside career, their criminal records, their morality, then maybe the Hall of Fame doesn't have any players in it. So, that's my take on that.
Hold on before you continue. Hold on before you continue. I just want to show you a video about your boy, and you can add it to your final word.
All right.
what gives you the confidence that if there's an issue internally that it's going to be handled and not linger? Because that was the issue last year with a first-year head coach. That's something he's going to have to tackle. What do you think of that?
There will be no problem for Ben Johnson. I can guarantee you that. There is no gray with him. It's black or white. He addresses things head on and has no issues bringing those things to the surface and having conversation. And then, when you're building a staff, I thought he did a great job putting the staff together. Dennis Allen's the same way. If there's something on their mind, if they see something that isn't being done the right way, it's going to be called out immediately, and it'll get a little uncomfortable. So I have no issues and don't see any issues with that moving forward.
Do you trust a word coming out of his mouth about what
you're damn right I don't trust shit. Can I say that on YouTube? Yeah, I can't trust anything that comes out of his mouth. If you believe in accountability and holding players to task and building a good staff and knowing your staff is able to take your team to the winning position that you're scared of, there is no way that you keep Eberflus for another season knowing that his whole staff was in turmoil. He didn't have an offensive coordinator, and you're drafting a generational quarterback in the next coming months to guide your team to the future of this franchise. If the
so you're saying if he didn't see that in Eberflus, what makes me think he could see that what's going on now, right?
I don't think he can see anything. You know my take on fire poles. It's fire poles. I don't think he can see anything. I don't think he knows what he's doing. He's you're just throwing the crap against the wall and seeing what comes down. He came into town telling us that he was going to build his team up through the draft. He had the opportunity to do it, and he failed in that opportunity. And to save his ass this year, he went out and spent all the money that the team had available on free agents and calling his quarterback that he didn't interview any other quarterbacks last year when he had the #1 pick in the draft, and we could have got rid of that pick or traded back one pick or did whatever the hell we needed to do. We got all of the haul again from the Washington Commanders, and they've had plenty of quarterbacks and free agency money. Come on, man. This guy is gonna give me some kind of condition. He's gonna raise my eye to the that that he comes out interviewing with people and telling them the exact opposite of what he's done as a general manager for the last few years. And now all of a sudden, he's a genius. He knows what he's doing. Now we got a whole new staff, a whole new head coach in here that's making $13 damn million. And I guarantee you that the ownership is listening to. I guarantee you that the president is listening to, because they brought him in and paid him all this damn money. And your general manager, I think, has got 1 year maybe left on his damn contract.
Right.
So,
He's supposed to be the football guy.
Yeah. He's supposed to be the guy that fixed all this and had the vision for all this, had the vision for the offensive line, had the vision for our offense, had the vision for our defense. But it took firing his last coach and bringing in a new coach and a new staff and
the coach he resigned, who had already sucked.
A way more qualified staff. The offensive line coach, yeah, way more qualified staff than what the hell we had going on before. He brought in the damn our special teams coach back from Eberflus staff, but all of those other guys definitely needed to go.
Fired our
and they're going.
Fired our 40-year equipment manager because he came out because he was recorded saying they like him poor and stupid, which has been the NFL's way since pink players were playing and the colors weren't.
Wait a minute. They fired our equipment manager.
Yeah, last year, bro, they had one that posed 2 years ago. It leaked that he hit a quote about they like him poor and stupid. And yeah, they fired him, bro. He had been there with the Bears forever, bro. Yeah, Poles fired him because it didn't fit his culture. But he hires Big Dick Dennis Allen, who's a slave driver.
He likes him poor and stupid. Well, you know what he's got going on at home, so.
I knew it was a red flag, bro, when they fired every coach but kept the damn offensive line coach when the offensive line was the worst room in the Hallis Hall.
Yeah. And I'm trying Tony Medlin.
Yeah, I think that's him.
He's still here. He's still here. Yeah, he's been with the Bears since '87.
Yeah, they didn't fire him?
He fired somebody else.
Oh, okay.
I think under him, but
okay. So Tony Mellon didn't say.
He's still the guy.
All right, my bad. Thanks for the fact check.
Tony Mellon's been around since '87. He knows better. Yeah, he's there with the
McCaskey family. He's caddying for the McCaskey.
Yeah, that. But he was back when we had the Honey Bears, so he knows how to keep secrets. He was there when, he knows what to do to keep secrets for the McCaskey family.
All I know is somebody in the organization said we like them poor and stupid. That's all I know.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. And we just saw it this past hiring cycle with Big Dick Allen. He said, yeah, we like them poor and stupid. We wanna we rather
don't want to have to whip
them. So yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's
go ahead what you're trying to
They're a
work.
100-year organization. They paid $100 damn for the team. So, They've been playing with church money since 1923. when the Bears were organized as a franchise, or 21, whatever our 100-year anniversary is. And, unfortunately, it is what it is. I just got word that the Kansas City Chiefs owner is about to drop $10 billion on a new stadium for them. And unfortunately, it looks like they're going to go to a dome team from playing outside in Kansas City. So they fans don't want to be out in the cold either. So you're in a different era in this NFL. The fans don't want to be cold anymore. Broadcasters want to be inside. They want to have Super Bowls all over the country, and you'll be able to do it even in these cold weather cities. I don't know how you're going to do it once it's snowing when your planes are flying in the town in February, and there's places you don't want to be in February. But give them one Super Bowl and then they're done. You get
Grade
back to the
Caleb's
warm weather
rookie
season.
year. Grade Caleb's rookie season.
Rookie season. Caleb, I would give him a B minus. B minus. He
I'm
is
gonna go with a
Captain
C
Clutch.
for
I
Caleb.
think
C plus.
I give him B. His sack total is totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. But he was playing behind a porous offensive line. He was playing for multiple coaches offensively for the entire year, and they couldn't get it together. They weren't putting themselves in a position to win at the beginning of the season. So by the time they got to the end of the season, 5-12 was what it was. So, do you expect a generational quarterback to be better? To take you won 7 games the year before. You
Yeah,
got rid of your
I
starting
expected
quarterback.
Jaden Daniels. You're damn right I did. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yes, you expect more out of this quarterback, but what he performed with what he had to work with and the organization that he came to, I'll give him a B minus. And not saying that that was a great grade or not downgrading the C plus that you gave him, but it is what it is. And now he has to improve on that B minus and try and get up to a B, because if he doesn't trust himself, trust the coaching staff, and coach and trust the offense that's being brought in to teach him how to not get sacked 50, 68 times, and teach him how to trust his arm and put himself in position to get more yards, more touchdowns, and not have to rely on the deep ball the entire damn game.
And he had
Then,
the worst deep ball rate in the NFL last year, but he's relying on it and not throwing it to the wide open short guy. But go ahead.
Yeah, but you're in a position where you have no one to rein you in, to pull the reins in, to whip you
Until
to
the
get
end of the
started and pull
season.
them in.
Until the end of the season, and that's when we beat Green Bay, bro. Those brothers, remember they was yapping at him, chirping at him on the sideline.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing, man? This dude standing in front of you wide open. You see this play, and this is the read. If this guy's covered, or if they're in this particular damn defense, you got to hand the ball off, or change to a run, or change to something, or check down to this other play. But if you in your mind are believing that, well, this is college, and I got superior athletes, and if the play is called, and I can hold the ball enough and give my receiver enough room to get downfield, then I'm going to complete this pass based on my arm talent. Not that that you're in the NFL and that these are NFL defenders and you got NFL receivers, and on any given Sunday their defenders might be better than your receivers, and some Sundays your receivers are going to be better than them defenders. But you gotta calculate this in your head and make it happen. And if if you don't have anybody to show you that, then you're going to be 5-12 and end up with 68 damn sacks in a season. In a season where you could have got that ball off. You didn't have to face as many sack opportunities as the defense had, and you had some more opportunities to get people some yards and some money and make some things happen. Not all the way downfield, but once you start hitting that open man, once you start hitting that damn check down, you're in a position where those over the top routes start opening up because those safeties got to come down. They got to make damn decisions. But if you still trying to fit the ball into 3 receivers or 2 receivers being in the same area, and you're trying to hit somebody in the hands, like
Bro,
they had with Shane
it was
Walter's
second and
offense.
3, and he called the audible and threw the ball to DJ Moore, wasn't expecting the ball, and hit him off his helmet, and they cussed him out. And I just can't help but wonder how many times that was happening. And we were like, why aren't they running the ball? Why aren't you run the ball? How many times he was getting up there in the fluces and they weren't telling him, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Mike Dicker wouldn't have took that stuff off no rookie.
Right. Second and 3. Run the damn ball, man. There's no reason for you to be checking out of play. Mike Dicker, I don't think would even let him check out of it. Did he let McMahon check out of it? It took a certain amount of games for him leading Vince McMahon to check out of a damn play, or he wouldn't even tell Dicker that he was checking out of the play till the damn play was run. He probably checked out of it in the huddle. So
yeah, if you want to check to a different run, check to a different run. But if I call run, don't check to a pass. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. And your receiver, hadn't got the check, or you haven't changed the blocking scheme, or you haven't done what it takes for this run to be successful. Just checking into certain runs out of certain plays when the defense is in a certain defense, it doesn't garner any success, and you're checking it into a pass, and then you see the guys on press coverage on your wide receiver, and he's not even ready to catch a damn ball, man. Come on, man. But this is your generational quarterback, and if he doesn't learn to be one, he will never be one. So this is the season. You got a new offensive coordinator. You got a hell of an assistant head coach, wide receivers coach. You got a hell of a running backs coach. You got a new offensive line coach. You got power up the gut with your new center and your 2 offensive guards, and possibly some rookies coming up, younger players at left tackle that can protect your ass. So it is what it is. You got to get better. You got to learn the playbook. You got to learn the concepts of this new offense. So besides learning the new plays, you got to learn the concepts and idiosyncrasies, where your receivers are going to be, who's going to be starting a receiver. It's all new. It's going to take some time. It's going to take time, but hopefully by next year, your generational quarterback will be ready to succeed on a playoff schedule. But we want to make the playoffs this year at least 10-7.
But we'd have had all that if we had JF1.
We had no interest in it, JF1.
Yeah. We'd have been in the playoffs last year, and we'd be in the playoffs this year.
No interest. It was quite evident that Poles was one-track mind on who the hell he was taking. He had no interest in keeping Justin. He put the narrative out there for the national media that we didn't want Justin, that Justin was on the clock, when he had no reason, and the Bears had no reason to do that.
No.
And if the national media wanted to do that, let's take for granted, let's say that it wasn't Poles that did that. And the national media, whatever sources, the Chicago pundits said that it was a possibility that the Bears wanted to trade Justin, or he was on the clock, and they wanted to figure out, was he going to be the quarterback of the future? At no point did your damn general manager and your damn head coach come back and vouch for your quarterback, and at least keep his trade availability or draft status or trade stock up to the point where we could have made something happen with him at the end of the season or before the season is over, or whatever the hell you start tickling your bum about this generational
They
quarterback.
scapegoated them because they only care about keeping their job.
Man,
that's what it's been about.
I know that. Well, I know that, and I felt that way last year when they got rid of Justin. But the fact that you got rid of Justin, you knew you had the number one pick, and you didn't fire the damn coach, lets me know that you have no idea what the hell you're doing. Fire Poles.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
That's my final damn word. Fire Poles, FGB, and Fire Poles, because I don't think he has the cojones to take us forward in the position we need to be to win a Super Bowl. And if you hired our new head coach and gave him $13 million, you're taking his suggestion this year in the draft as far as players and and personnel, he's getting this information from someone. And if he's got someone he can recommend or whatever the hell we got to do in the near future, Kevin Warren is in this situation to help the Bears pick and decide who we're going to have the general manager to get us to the Super Bowl in the future, then let him do that. But there's no way I'm giving Ryan Poles another contract. If you want to wait out his contract, it's up to y'all. But fire Poles. That's my final word.
All right. Great final words, y'all. Great final words, bro. So as we wrap up this riveting episode, one thing is clear. Ryan Poles should be fine. In the game of football, in the game of life, is ever evolving. Whether in spots, music, or the world of Spolitricks, power moves are being made, narratives are always shifting, and influence is constantly being redefined. From Caleb Williams' response to the latest media storm, we've dissected the deeper layers that shape headlines and public perception, or dare I say public deception. Stay locked in as we continue to bring more thought-provoking discussions that connect the dots across industries. The conversation doesn't end here. So keep questioning, keep analyzing, and keep pushing the boundaries of your perspectives. We appreciate all the support and enthusiasm for the Mouthpiece Included pod. If you have any more questions, concerns, or need further information, feel free to reach out and ask via the comments or what have you. In the meantime, stay tuned, stay passionate, bear down. And as always, until next time, Ace.
Most definitely FGB and Fire Poles. FGB, most importantly.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to be like the guys was at Motown, bro. If you can't utter FGB, we don't want to hear nothing else you got to say. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it concerns me.
It's definitely a concerning fact that you can't FGB, and there's been a couple guys on here, even the toe knuckle packer backer, and we got we got Diesel on here, can't FGB. I mean, it's
toe fingers.
Toe fingers, yeah, same thing. It's just a certain sentiment that we got to feel about you guys that can't utter the phrase.
It's demonic. It's demonic.
FGB. Yeah,
it's demonic. I read somewhere if a person can't say, they said demon can't recite the Lord's Prayer. Can't, won't, right? So if you can't say FGB, then it just means that you got a whole nother god of football. You know what I mean? You're a demon when it comes to the Bears if you can't utter it. You're a poser.
Fudge back.
Yeah. All right, y'all. That's another episode, y'all. You find yourself sliding through the shop. Maybe out west, southwest on Narragansett, Laramie. You might be in LA.
Mouthpiece.
Coima.
How does it out here?
Pulling up the W.
What up, SA?
You better watch your back.
¿Cómo está? ¿Muy bien? Bueno.
Check your blind spot.
You got a shot?
Check your 6. Use that blind spot assist. Keep that head on a swivel.
Definitely keep your head on a swivel. Yeah.
Knuckle up.
Mouthpiece included.
Don't forget it though.
FGB.
Shout out to Karen.
Bear down.
Shout out to Air Quotes.
And don't forget to.
Don't forget it, baby.
Let's go, brisket. And don't forget to. And don't
forget
to bring Mouthpiece. Wait.
Shout